I am in charge of this sector. I
This
am
is
also
what we're coming
the...
in on, by the way. Perfect.
So it's kids on space
Yes.
then. So
Yeah,
we'll do
you know-
kids in space.
Well, no,
Yep.
I'm the what do they call it? The RA on this floor, and so this is my sector, and I'm gonna make sure you guys stay out of trouble.
Oh, this poor
All
guy
right.
has like a retainer from hell. I know he does.
Retainer
It's
from hell. What is he, a
cemented in.
lawyer?
It's got like old Nacho in there. Ugh.
Ugh. Ugh.
It is not old Nacho. It is new Nacho. It
That-
will eventually become old Nacho.
That actually grossed me out. All right, well, we're live. Everybody got to hear Andrew's fun voice.
You're welcome.
So, hey, everybody, we're back in Aberrant Empire. The whole gang is here again. Alternate Artem is here until Rain proper comes back in, but the whole gang is here. Shadow Artem is here, so everybody watch your backs. Shardom, if you will.
If
Wait,
we
is
won't.
Art about to play someone of morally ambiguous ethics? This is the
This is new
first
ground.
time this has happened. Huh.
I've never played a character like this ever before.
You mean
been 5.5
chaotic
years.
neutral
We all
isn't
know
the
our type.
default? Strange.
Man, we really do sometimes fall into, no matter what character we're playing, we all kind of fall into certain things, don't we?
We
You know
sure
what, just for
do.
that next character I make, totally good. No moral quandaries.
I was actually
Great.
thinking about that earlier today. I was like, man, the next PC I'm gonna make is gonna be like some sunshine and rainbows ass person that has no problems in her life.
For the first time, I had an idea and decided not to write it down. I was like, no, you know what? I don't think I'm going to play this character. And considering the massive list of unused PCs I currently have, I was proud of myself for that. I was like, let's not add another to the pile. This idea is just chaff. It's not good enough. Anyways, Richard, you're going to have to recap this time, I think. Although Sid's notes in our group chat were pretty good.
Pretty good recap. What do your notes say happened?
As soon as you said that earlier, I was like, it's like I don't write any notes. What the fuck? And then I decided to recap it in the chat.
It was a pretty good recap.
It was.
So, last time we were coming off of the battle with the Hellhound Chupacabras, I believe. Like the battle had happened like the session before, so we were just coming off of it. We made sure that the little girl was okay, and she absolutely was. She was like, you know, hey, can you help like my 3 other friends and my little sister, and so we're gonna like just go save like a shit ton of kids, and it's fine. While we were there too, I think we discussed the kind of moral quandary of the guys being former squids. They seemed pretty like, no man, we just want to live happily over here. This seems like a good place so long as we don't have to deal with these hellhounds anymore. And we were like, aces, we're gonna go on ahead. And they're like, great, have a good time. So we did. We decided to camp out like right next to the fog wall, with the plan to like rest up and then scout next morning. But in the middle of the night, frickin' Elden Ring Night Cavalry bastard comes rolling up, and he was like, hey y'all, you need to leave or I'm gonna force you to leave. And we were like, don't know who you think you are, but no. Actually, I think we tried to talk to him for a bit, and then eventually he was just like, all right, I'm gonna
barely did
kick your
try to,
ass
like,
now.
We did try to get information from him. We weren't like just like bet, like, but we were like,
No, we were
"You
like,
sure?"
we're not gonna listen to your threat. We're gonna
Yeah.
totally disregard it, but we're gonna try to talk. And he's like, you guys don't seem to be understanding what I'm saying here. And then he attacked. It got a little hairy. Hunter was almost like perma petrified, but the guy decided to like feels like, I don't know, like he was above us and was actually above us on a rock, and then he got like falcon punched off of the rock and did the little like the scream into oblivion, and he died. And then putting his skull back together, question mark, we did speak with the dead, and we asked a few questions. We asked what the curse of Castle Hill was. And we got little bits and pieces, like there was this goddess and she fell into despair, let her worst inclinations take over. We were like, what goddess? And all we got was that it was the symbol of a teardrop. We asked what happened to that person individually, like what was the last thing that they remember. They like went into war to fight the Queen of the Damned, and he thinks he was killed by something dark and evil, and that's all he got. Who's the Queen of the Damned? What you know about that? He only knew rumors, which is kind of on par for everything leading up to this point. We get these kind of vague, like, this is the story, but we're not 100% sure. And then we asked how to potentially remove the curse from the entirety of the area, and we got kill the queen, save the goddess. Which is fitting. And that's kind of all we got. I think we decided to go back to sleep and just scout out in the morning also.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, Sid. Thank you for taking notes.
I take notes.
I have one note, and it's specifically the quote given about my uncle.
I have 32 pages of notes.
Dang. Yeah. Did you talk about what you looted off this guy?
Yeah, they found like another stone, like Soulforge stone. And then they were like, hey, it would be cool if we could take this with us without like incurring any crazy ass damage. So I think they put together a lead box.
Yep. Yeah.
And put it in the bag of holding.
Much like Soulforge stone was powering Arantis. Who's
This
with
one
you,
looks
by
to
the
be.
way, isn't he? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
think-
this bull thing, this construct bull
Mm-hmm.
also was powered by something similar, and you took it. And this one was green instead of orange. You don't know the significance of that at this point.
Something of note for Arantis too is this go round, instead of convincing him to fight things, we were like, hey man, maybe wait just a second. He was like, I'm gonna kill, and he did. So this is like battle like 2 of 2 where we've had a discrepancy.
Yeah.
I have a
2 of
question.
3 where there's been a discrepancy.
I have a question for Richard / other folks with the multiverse stuff that came out. Does anyone else have like adjustments to their character now? Because I know, like, for me, the like Furbolg race thing changed, so now my invisibility thing is now proficiency per day per long rest rather than once per short. But I don't know. I'm just curious if anyone else had any changes.
I actually-
I'm keeping her as she is.
I think on Wars, so you can, with the magic, you can change the stat it's associated with. So it was Con. Now his Produce Flame and Burning Hands and other stuff like that used to be just Con, but it's a little bit better because it's now to his intelligence. So we're saying that his suit has helped to kind of assist with that auto targeting and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Alrighty. So with that, you guys did not finish a long rest, but we'll just pick up the morning where, after all of your long rests are finished and everything, you pick up your stuff. Is there any RP you guys want to do? Any kind of check-in thing before heading out?
So I'm sorry if it was already said, but remind me. So we sent carts back in town, yeah? So now it's just the party and Arantis?
The wagon and the yaks have gone off with Todd.
Right.
And he was a little bit of a dick about it. He was basically like, you guys are definitely going to die, but, in the off chance that you don't, I'll keep the yaks safe for you. But if you don't come back, these are my yaks and my wagon now. He does not know about the secret compartment at all, but he's making his way back to that little town that you were in along Horatio's wall. And let's see what else. Yeah, so right now you guys have not gotten to the point where you've heard or read that there are these like arcane symbols all over the ground that are keeping some kind of curse contained. You've not reached that point yet, but you have gotten to the point where some fog is kind of spilling in over to your area. You guys are kind of like right in between two mountain crests that kind of there's this valley that's in the middle of these two mountains, and you're kind of like right at that entrance area, heading in there. So you're actually heading like kind of southwest, slightly into this valley. But you do, I think, Anwar has some version of a compass, so it can kind of help keep your way.
These symbols are clear
when
on the
things get dicey.
ground, or is it like a minefield situation?
What was that?
The symbols, are they clear on the ground, or are they like a minefield situation?
You haven't seen them in person yet, but based off what you heard, they seemed like they were arcane symbols trying to contain something. So they're just etched into the ground as far as you know. I think they were described similar to crop circles, like they're gigantic.
Right. Okay.
But as far as like, are they harmful to pass through? You don't know.
Okay. Well, I meant more just like, are they like they're visible though? Yeah. It's
Oh
not
yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, unless they've been grown over. Whether again, you're going off of like something that was written like 500 years ago or something.
Got it.
Maybe not 500, but at least a couple hundred years ago, because it was like a gnome's grandfather or something who wrote about it. So it's pretty old. Let's see. So yeah, when you wake up in the morning, you do have a morning fog, and just everything's just kind of moist and dewy everywhere. Not too much wind. Everything feels pretty still and stagnant. At this point, we are in springtime heading into summer. So the weather's actually pretty nice. Might be a little chilly in the morning, but it should pick up by midday. So yeah, as you kind of like pick up your stuff and start getting ready to go, if you progress just a little bit more forward, you start to notice that some of these rock formations that are kind of sticking up out of the ground are in the shape of people that seem like they are petrified and frozen in place. Some people were not as lucky as Hunter, and
well, I'm glad that didn't happen to you, my friend.
Yeah. That'd been a hell of a way to go.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like there's anything else anybody really wants to check in about before moving forward. So, we'll say you guys go further into the valley, until the point where you see that there are like certain spots where the grass just does not grow, and there are these patches of absolute lifelessness. And you really don't need much of an arcane check to be able to kind of tell, like, kind of zoomed out looking around, this is likely what you read about, that there are these huge symbols placed around, and they probably span maybe like, let's call it like 20 feet out in any direction. And you can kind of see from long ways out towards the left, towards the right, like it's making some giant circle going around. And on the other side of that, it gets really foggy. You can barely see much further past those symbols. So what do you want to do?
I know that we can figure out that the runes and arcane markings are here. Could I make some kind of check to see, like, how or who, maybe not who did this, but how someone could have done this? And was it just like 100 wizards standing around, like, casting this, or was it like a god or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and you can roll Arcana or Religion, whichever you want to do.
I'm going to stick with what I know.
All right.
20.
It's pretty good. You look around, and it's blowing your mind right now, just the scale of it. This is like the most powerful wizard ever, or some huge team up, or may have been something at like demigod level, like something insanely more powerful than you could hope to be anytime soon.
Rontus, do you know of anyone from your time who could have made something like this?
I guess he'll do a little scan as well. You can only see so much of it at a time. But he's going to look around, and he's going to say, I do not know of any. that is this powerful. But if it is a god that has been tainted or corrupted somehow, if this is a goddess that is struggling, perhaps it was a god that contained it. But your guess is as good as mine. But to answer directly, no, I do not know of any being capable of doing this.
Oh, that makes me feel better or worse.
If it was an entire group of beings at the time I existed, they were all busy fighting undead.
That makes sense. Well, King, how are we feeling about this? Any second thoughts? I mean, I'm not having any, obviously, but if anyone else wanted to talk about it, we could, explore our thoughts on that.
I left any second thoughts behind a long time ago. I'm just here to help.
Yeah, I think
and Artem, just so you know, this screen is kind of like a summary of a book that they were able to get from some notes from somebody. So this is like a rough description of what the place is purportedly looks like, and some of the most like key notes about trying to go into this whole valley between these two mountains. This one little hill that sticks up in the middle of the valley is surrounded by this supposedly impenetrable fog, where scores of armies and monsters are in constant battle all the time. And I've told you a little bit about that, but
Yeah,
anyways,
that's
just giving you
terrifying.
some context as to what's going on there.
I mean, I have several issues with this whole thing, but here we are. I'm ready to scout. I mean, if nobody has any objections.
Are they issues you've yet to raise, Chimera? Or
Oh no, it's literally just dragging a bunch of children to the death. That is the primary issue here.
well, first of all, we're adults, and second of all, death is
Well.
not guaranteed. I'd certainly like to avoid it.
Well,
Well, if we're talking some scouting, I'll jump in on that buddy system and all.
I was going to send the Echo through,
Oh,
so we don't have to go in and potentially never ever have to be able to come out before we get eyes on it.
I would prefer to keep your body here as well, Hunter.
Considering we almost just lost it again.
yeah, that was a little freaky. I'm not gray anywhere, am I?
You mean Gray again? No.
What?
And the hair a little bit. You have had a stressful couple months.
Oh no, one of Hunter's worst fears.
You're messing with me, right?
It's just like, at first you're like, wait, is it flaky? Is it dandruff? It's just like little chunks of rock kind of come out of the hair.
It'd be funny if he started, but then he came back with the perfect Stephen Strange, Reed Richards, just
Oh, yeah.
distinguished
Ooh.
Yeah.
look right
Yeah.
there.
I was just about to say, Hunter would look okay with that.
Yeah, totally.
He shouldn't be upset.
He'd rock it. Get that
It's like permanent hair gel slicked back.
Yeah. Although while
Salt and pepper devil.
that sounds like a restaurant I would
That's what they
absolutely
call
eat
me.
at. Salt and Pepper Devil. Oh,
Yeah.
man. Although while we're on the subject, Hunter, give me your hand a moment, and I'll take his hand and do the death ward on him.
Okay,
And,
I thought you were gonna prey on me, and I was gonna say, "Come on." That's...
I mean, technically that is what my magic is, but
Oh shit!
I don't
yeah,
have to
you're
make
right.
a show of it. If you would like to just die, that's fine, but
I'm deciding that was a canon statement.
Yeah.
Audra actually said, if you want to die, that's fine.
I'll
right.
think on it.
So you're death warded, and I'll double abjurate it to myself.
So, do you create the echo?
Yup.
All right.
We
So give us a little bit of flavor here. What goes on when you're creating your echo and suddenly all your senses are gone from your actual body?
She goes really still for a moment, and like there's that very visible shift where you can tell that she herself no longer is perceiving much of anything. Like her eyes kind of grow wide, like, and she's just staring into space. Meanwhile, the monochromatic kind of hazy image of her just turns and slowly drifts into the fog.
All right.
Also, her hands kind of go out just for spatial awareness.
Okay. So the echo is formed. It is like describe your echo exactly. So it's like a purplish hazy thing, or
Yeah, it was. I've always imagined it to be like this kind of purple, black, gray, like, but also semi see-through. In this form, especially because it's not an alternate reality. It is an avatar, and it is moving and walking and everything.
Well, them
And-
avatars is blue.
Really? Shoot. And I will say, like, her weapons are a little different, not super different, but in terms of like, instead of sword and shield, it's the shield is on her back and she has the sword primarily out. Just like in battle typically.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty then. So yeah, that form crosses through all these runes that are kind of kicked into the ground, and nothing seems to happen. She walks on through and goes into the fog. What's everybody else doing as the echo goes off into the fog and Chimera's body is just kind of trying to be spatially aware?
T-posing.
Are there any?
Yeah,
Are there-
I'm T-posing for dominance.
Are there any statues closer to the barrier where we are, or the mist?
Like any other petrified beings, you mean?
Yeah.
Let me roll a d4 for that.
Almost got by him.
I mean, like, if you look all the way back, you can see one, but it's pretty far away from you at this point.
Okay.
Is
Yeah,
there like a? Sorry, go ahead.
I think he
That's
just
all I
kind of glares at it for a moment with deep concern.
Is there like a stump or a boulder or some kind of sturdy object nearby?
Yes. Yeah,
Anwar's
there's
gonna
a
just
nice little boulder. It's even got it's one of those boulders that's really round, but it's got a nice flat top to it. It's actually perfect for sitting.
How is it for tying rope around so our friend doesn't get like Vecna'd through the fog gate if someone gets ornery on the other side?
If you, yeah, it's got like a little bit of a tilt to it, so you could kind of wrap around from underneath and kind of like tie. It kind of protrudes at certain points, so you could wrap around and tie something to it.
Yeah, I don't have a Kate Bush cassette, so when Chimera goes through the fog gate door, I'm gonna say, Audra, do you mind giving me a hand with this? Just, in case she... And he's gonna start pulling out the rope from his bag of holding.
Right. Yes, of course.
And we'll kind of like tie it around the rock and then like kind of tie it around her. So it's not like, cutting her off in the, like almost like a vest, but just like,
Doing
in
that
case
for the
something like...
echo?
What's that?
You're doing that for the echo?
No, for Chimera.
Oh, okay.
Her physical body.
Got
So-
it, okay.
Like in case she ragdolls with the echo for some reason.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know the rules of this place.
Yeah.
That's fair.
The rope,
Very fair.
like-
You do not know the rules of this place.
the rope like goes around her waist, and there is an immediate like, something's touching me. Something's touching me.
Oh no!
It's
Oh
a
no,
fan.
Cammy, it's a giant snake. It got you. Oh no, Cammy.
And she can't hear to respond to that, so it's just
Artem's
something's
playing a
touching me.
python.
I'll give Cammy the hand squeeze, so she know to let her know she's chill.
All right, Chimera,
Oh god, yeah.
you go into this fog that continues to get thicker and thicker. Are you like charging in there? Are you walking like one slow step at a time? How are you going in there?
She's definitely walking. I wouldn't say it's like an all-out run. It's a steady walking pace, just tentative but not exuberant, I suppose.
Okay. Go in there, and as you start to go in a little bit, give me a wisdom saving throw, please. Actually,
I rolled earlier, but we'll see.
Yeah, wisdom saving throw is fine.
First roll of
Oh,
the
a
new
save.
season.
Just kidding.
I cannot help you. Anything right now.
You start to go in there, and you're going on for a little bit, and then you feel a whoosh of wind kind of go through, and after it kind of dies down, you look around, you suddenly have lost the feeling of the fact that they're like right behind you. You forget like where behind you is, and you're immediately like, which way do I go?
Oh dang! So when she looks
think I'm
around, does it
lost.
just look like an empty field?
It's
Or
just,
like
yeah, basically on the ground, you see no vegetation at all. You look at the ground, and there is just grayish, reddish dirt and clay. There is nothing growing at all. And when you look all around, it's kind of like you're in the middle of just like a gray fog. You can't really see much of anything. If anything, there might be like a little bit of a yellow tint to almost make it feel like you're in the middle of a sandstorm almost, but it's definitely a foggy texture. But yeah, you kind of look through it and you cannot see anything anymore. You feel completely lost, like you've lost your way.
I think I'm lost already.
So you're able to
Everything looks
speak
the
to
same.
them while you're going through, but you speak.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that flavor. That's interesting.
I am deafened and blinded. And those are the only conditions
not
I
mute.
have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so yeah, you can totally speak to them. Yep.
You've just entered. Can you not just turn around and reorient yourself?
She can't hear you.
Oh, right. Deaf.
Still happen though.
All right. So you said that to them. You don't hear anything back. What do you do?
Everything looks the same.
Deathly quiet at first, but if you'd like to make a perception check to see if you can hear. Oh wait, yeah, no, because you can hear through the echo senses, right? So
Yeah.
yep.
That's
so
why I'm deaf and blind on the other end.
Right. Yep.
Perception.
Ooh.
There we go.
All right. You have no sense of bearing on which way was the correct way to go at this point, but over to your front left, like your 10 o'clock, you hear some screaming. And that's the only thing you really hear at this point. You might hear the faintest bit of like metal clashing on metal even further away, but the closest thing you hear is somebody screaming out in pain.
I hear somebody though. I'm gonna make the echo follow the pain because we're going with video game logic. And that's where I should go.
Are we getting 3D spatial audio in this moment, Richard?
Yeah, if you imagine it, you do. So you head over that way, and eventually you see, with multiple arrows in his back, a soldier, half-elven looking, doesn't look a day over 18, looks really young, but is in a kind of armor that you don't recognize, is like crawling on all fours, coming over to you and just yelling out like, please help me, but upon anyways, that's what you hear. I guess by the time that you get close enough to see it, it's maybe 20 feet away from you. That's about the distance of what you can see in front of you at this point. And at first he's screaming. You know Elven, right?
I do.
He's screaming in a number of languages, mostly Common and Elvish. And for a second, when your silhouette kind of starts to appear through the fog, you just hear him yelling out in Elven, like, "Mama! Mom!" And as you get even closer, and he can see your full form of this spectral warrior with a sword thing, he's just gonna start screaming, "Oh god, just kill me! Kill me!" And you just see like a trail of blood that is behind where he's been crawling.
First off, she's kind of just describing like everything she sees as she sees it, like kind of like I heard a scream over to my left, I'm going to follow it. Like everything's got a weird little hazy cast to it. Reminds me of sand, but it's definitely fog. Oh, the screaming belonged to a boy. He's dying. He thought I was his mom. Now he wants me to kill him.
These are the worst cliff notes.
They're Sydney edition.
They're
Cliff
so
notes.
terrifying.
As an action, I can't do shit through her. I guess I'm going to keep walking.
All right, you just keep walking after he's just screaming, and you just leave him behind. Just keep on walking. Do you go towards the metal clashing or any other direction? What do you do?
I want to see the scale of this madness, I think.
Okay. Go ahead and roll another perception check, please. Nine. Okay. You keep on walking in that direction, and before you know it, there is this tabaxi in, like, what kind of armor is it, Artem?
It's chainmail.
Chainmail. Okay, so you see this tabaxi in chainmail, like, running your direction. And so Artem, why don't you go ahead and describe your character as you run right into view of this echo?
Sure thing. So yeah, running like directly at you, terrified, petrified of, whatever is chasing him from behind, is a tabaxi in full chainmail. His tabard is old, like older than what should be survivable. I don't know if Richard, you ever decided on this, but we were talking about like it might be identifiable, possibly. But
I don't recall. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we had talked about it. Maybe. Well, it's fine. Maybe I'll whisper.
You can whisper it to me.
Yeah. So, real quick before I continue.
What fur pattern are we talking about?
I just posted an image to it in the chat.
Oh,
It's a
boy.
rad picture.
Oh, shit. Hell yeah.
Sorry, anyway, continue, Artem. There. Because obviously this picture isn't fully representative of what it is.
Yes. 1 second. Is his name Jorts? No. But as he runs you away, the one big thing that is not representative of this picture is that he doesn't have a long sword or a shield, but he instead comes running at you. He's got like several sorts of weaponry latched onto his back in a pack. The most threatening of which is a greatsword, which is like in his hands at the moment as he's running. And also from his neck hangs not one, not two, but like 4 or 5 different holy symbols of different religions, and they just like clatter against his
Are you the guy from the Mummy?
armor. But as he runs towards your echo, which is this like spectral looking thing, he just is going to scream again. He's like, "Oh, there's more!" And he is going to go and try and swing down his great sword on the echo in front of him.
Alrighty, roll me an attack. I believe AC
17.
17.
I think his panicked yell as he runs towards you. Ah!
Yeah, so Kamira, you're able to dodge out of the way of that. What do? There's a tabaxi that just ran at you, swinging at you.
Well, it doesn't say anything about like any kind of combat. It doesn't say if I can talk. All I can do is like look at him like, what?
Let's assume that you can do anything that it can do. Like basically, it's just attack or like you can't make any sound really. All you can do is attack or dodge, basically, or like run.
So there's definitely gonna be a show of like.
You can do.
Yeah, there's gonna be a show of her like sword pulling out, like, no, and then just a frantic hand wave. Also, by the way, I have a cap at 10 minutes or 1,000 feet for all of this.
Okay, yeah, you are probably pretty close to the 1,000 feet at this point.
Okay.
You are walking for a ways.
A frantic hand wave. It's a cut across the throat. Like, no. What are you doing? Stop that. Can't talk though. We're just trying to get it to cease.
Actually, wait, no, 1,000 feet. That's like a fifth of the mile, and it's like a mile diameter, or it's a mile radius. So let's say 500 feet in. You're about halfway through your.
Okay.
I think he would stop for just a moment. He's like very clearly still has his great sword in front of him. But he looks behind him to see if whatever was chasing him is still chasing him.
Yeah, so we'll just say that you've been running for some time, Benny. And last you saw, it was like a displacer beast that was chasing you. It was like a big-ass, six-limbed, lion-looking thing with 3 tentacles coming out of its back. Like, it was scary as hell. And you've been running for, you can't even remember how long you were running at this point. And so you look back. Go ahead and make a perception to see if you can hear it, because you definitely couldn't see it at this level.
Okay.
You are scared to death that it could be there, and you just don't know, because it's a hunter. It can sneak, it can do all sorts of stuff. It very well could still be hunting you, and you just can't hear it, or definitely can't see it.
All right. Well, seeing as like he doesn't know where it is, he is going to turn his attention fully to the echo in front of him. Who are you? Does it talk? But it understands.
I'm gonna point to the way I perceive was potentially the way I came from.
That means nothing to Benny.
Yeah, he looks in that direction.
To you anymore.
I can draw in the sand. Can I? I'm gonna maybe an arrow. Can I draw like a little arrow?
Attack the sand in a
And,
very
like-
artistic way.
Yeah.
Just yeah. I'm gonna
You can point
tinker
in the
with it.
direction of saying that the direction at this point, he's been running so long that he's lost, you're lost, both of you. Is like, you can point out that way, but both of you would have an understanding that you don't know what that point goes to.
I'm gonna shrug and like with the sword tip, just write I'm outside. Period. Or outside the barrier, I guess.
It's outside. How? What? No, this is another trick. It's another trick.
There is the like she sighs. It is this heavy, like, oh my god. But you don't hear anything. There's no like air that passes through lungs.
Benny, you've faced all sorts of horrors for a while now. This is the most confusing thing you've encountered, and the first thing to not outright attack you in quite some time.
Scouting.
He's going to like slowly try walking in the direction that you pointed before. Not that that means anything because it's just fog in that direction still.
Yep. As he goes, does he find the body of the boy that might have died? The blood trail. We can follow the blood trail.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception to see if you can find the blood trail.
Come on, roll good once.
Yeah, you go forward, and you didn't get too far away from the other thing, so you can find the blood trail.
He's dead. Everything here is dead.
I found somebody. They're kind of panicked.
Can't hear you.
Oh, I'm talking to
you're
the
saying
yeah,
it's-
just like relaying the message.
Mhm.
He's a squirrely cat guy. But he doesn't seem to be from here, that's for sure. Echo Chimera seeing blood is just like, yeah, this way. It's this way.
Well, considering it's the one thing that hasn't tried to kill him, he will follow the echo. He's very weary at you pointing him towards a dead body. Which is, he's like, ah!
We're following a
Did you do
different
this?
kind of yellow brick road right now. We're just
But
going this way.
he will follow wherever you're going. He is trusting you, possibly a little too much, that you know the way. So
I don't. That was my only identifier.
he doesn't know that though, and you
make your
can't
way
tell
through
him.
the blood, and eventually you just hear, "Is somebody there? Is somebody? It's you! Oh, please!" He notices the holy symbols around. It's like, "Please heal me or kill me, one of the two. I can't take it anymore."
Is this
This is the half-elven soldier, and you have seen a lot of this. You've seen a lot of people who should be dead. Some of them, like, kind of like even if like a zombie had half a body left and was just like crawling, it would still like it's much worse than a zombie because it's still very much conscious of who he is and everything else, and has all of his fears and everything else that a zombie wouldn't have. So it's just like hell on earth, basically. And so this is one of many, many, many soldiers you've seen in this predicament. You've probably even wasted a number of, if you were so inclined, you've probably wasted a number of healing slots on some of these guys before over the past who knows how long you've been here. So it's up to you if you're like just over it and you don't even do it anymore, or if you want to help him out. It's up to you, whatever you want. What would you
I think at this point, with knowing Benny and like how long he's been in here, he doesn't even know if it's a trap to get him to follow something else, or if it is actually another person stuck in the hell with him. If they do come towards him, he is just going to push it away, unless if they attack him, then he will attack back.
Best he does is he kind of rolls over to his side, where it looks like he was also sliced across the stomach, and there's just tons of blood gushing out, and some of his intestines is coming out. It's freaking gross, man. It's like the horrors of war. And at this point, you've seen so much of that.
Yeah, with how much blood and guts is coming out of him, Benny does the only thing that's natural in this case, in which case he will decapitate the person. May you rest.
Yeah, just, you chop off the head, and for about another 15 seconds, the head's just like, I don't, nothing, oh, it's just more pain, I don't. and then silence.
I thought he was some kind of holy man who might help people, but he just decapitated somebody.
Oh, he helped.
I think at this point, Hunter's been like pacing, and when she mentioned the injured dude, he pulled out like the healer's kit and was like, now, and I imagine someone in the group is like, and it's interaction dude like sword,
The
and now he's
exuberant,
like back to sword again and like,
like the like this way, it stops. It stops hard, and it's like a stare, and then it's like, I might disappear. Like I might drop that shit.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, it's gonna like preceded by like a and just like I gotta go. It's a finger
No!
waggle. It's a
Don't leave me here.
You're like, don't leave me, and it just like vanishes away.
It's like when Audra said she wasn't gonna leave Anwar and went invisible. The
Benny,
same move.
you are suddenly alone, and your only place marker right now is a dead body you decapitated. What do you do? Do you just go off in a random direction? Like, what do you do in this case?
I think he is going to attempt to keep following the way that she had pointed, because that's the only thing he knows right now.
Okay.
And he's just gonna go that way, I guess.
So, Chimera, you're back with everyone else. What do you do?
kind of blinking back into herself. She's I don't like, he had like a bunch of holy symbols on, but he absolutely decapitated a man, and I don't think... Maybe I rushed too soon. It didn't seem right to lead him back here, because that's what I was trying to do. I could go back again.
Can he get back here?
I was following a trail of blood for a little bit. I was hoping to find my footprints, but...
Wait, so when you said you went in there, you got lost immediately.
Oh,
Say more
immediately.
things about that.
Say more? I guess, so walking in, extremely foggy, could barely see too far in front of you, like maybe 1 or 2 feet. Suddenly I don't know, I got turned around. There was wind. It looked like sand, but it wasn't. And then I was deeply lost, and I just picked a direction and started walking.
So it was mostly just fog in there?
Yes. Yep. Ground is mostly barren. I just started following the sound of screams, which was the best idea ever. I didn't see the battle, unfortunately. I did see maybe our new Tabaxi friend before then, but... I can go back and try to find him, but...
Did he seem crazy?
Oh, he seemed batshit insane, a little bit. And I'll try to describe, like, not like I had a whole lot of time to study him, but it was like, no, he had multiple different religious iconography on his necklaces, like, not sure who he worships. Obviously not somebody who belongs in there, but also maybe not the up and up sort. Or maybe he's just been in there for too long. That's fair too.
Did it seem like he was scavenging then, if he had a random assortment of these things?
No. Not from what I saw of him.
Artem, he does have he did have a number of weapons on him, right?
We don't hear you.
Sorry, I had myself muted. Like I described, he had like a few like randomly, like, they didn't look all of the same make. And I will say the holy symbols also did not look the same make. It's not like they came from one manufacturer or anything. Like, he probably was scavenging those
Well,
things.
potentially, but also getting to see, oh god, there's something undead here, and I'm panic scared and gonna kill it. It probably started as a scavenge and turned into a fight for the life. So I'm going with maybe not actively scavenging right now.
Oh yeah, like he's not raiding the
Yeah.
fog.
It might have started that way, but he is no longer.
How much rope did we say that we had?
Yeah, how many people have 50 feet of rope?
I do.
I also have 50 feet.
I have a job.
Mega pint.
I too have some rope.
How much?
A single
Everybody should have
50 foot
No.
hempen rope.
And don't you have 2 of them, Ryan?
I'm double checking, but I
Okay.
think so.
Somebody
Sounds
had
right.
two.
Yeah, in that case we would have 250.
Do we want to try and send the echo back in, this time tied to a piece of rope? Is that something we can do?
We can try. If all else fails, like, I mean, we can send actual Chimera, and if it's a question of whether or not she can get out, I mean, maybe I can send the Avatar out to a certain point.
If
And
you
maybe
can know the
port
direction
back?
to send it.
Yeah, there's that. But also, if I have a rope, and I, like, walk towards the, I don't know.
Let's try with the echo first.
Sure.
So that same rock that we tied Chimera's body to. Also, you wake up and you're tied to a
Yeah,
rock.
I'm like, what?
You have like a leash on you, basically.
It was a safety measure.
That's fair.
But we'll tie, if we can, if Chimera's echo can
If she's
support.
corporeal enough to have that happen.
I think as long as you could interact with an object that way, you can interact with the echo that way. I am nervous as to venture off into this because I don't know what other ramifications that has, but I believe that the bottom line has been it is an object.
Okay. If it's too game breaky later on, I will not get mad at you for.
Let's just say you're concentrating
Backing off of
really
it.
hard right now.
I'm concentrating really hard right now. Okay, yeah. We'll tie her up.
All right, so you have the echo tied up, and what is the rest of your plan?
Do you want to like pin a note to her? And just say hello.
We
We
pin
are
it and that
here.
counts as the one damage. It
Yeah.
disappears.
I was thinking like if Benny knocked her over and she fell on her keys, that would do the 1 damage. That would break the echo.
Maybe.
Step on a Lego.
I don't have a lot of blood as the echo.
Yeah, we'll write a little note. It's like, hello, we are from the outside. We are looking to get in safely. Would you be kindly able to follow this ghost back to its owner?
If it's not that wording, I'm not playing anymore.
We've got like ink and parchment for that, right? One of us,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure, has it.
I've got a pin.
While you're thinking on this, just give me 1 second to get some water, then I will come back.
Don't write ghost. She's not a ghost.
What do you call her?
I mean, it's just the echo. I don't really refer to her as it's me. All right, like she's here, but she's not. I don't call it ghost. It's fine.
Is the echo out while you're saying this?
Sure.
So I think it'd just be funny just to talk, because it doesn't do anything unless you tell it. So it's just like this unmoving thing while you're like talking about it, which would be funny. Oh man.
And then I would also be hearing through the echo and talking through like
Oh man, you get
it would
like
be all through the echo. It'd be
it's like
weird
when
feedback.
you like if
Oh,
I were
the
to open up the
feedback.
stream on stream and it would just like loop.
Oh.
Oh, it'd be awful.
I hate that.
Everybody talk slow.
Arden, when you were a paladin, I was hoping
Yeah.
we don't have this spell yet at any of our levels, but I was really hoping you'd have find the path. But I guess if you did, then you could have already gotten out.
Yeah.
So with the note, I guess I go walking back into the fog.
The echo.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
the echo. The echo. That's a good specification.
We tie the echo and the Chimera just walks in. No, wait, no, that's... Well, she's gone.
You head on in, and what's the total amount that you can go?
1,000 feet.
250 with the rope.
Oh, 250 with the rope.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll me a D100, please.
Oh no.
Oh no. I hope this isn't how much rope we lose.
I think the rope is
Oh,
the least of
wow.
our worries.
Roll me a D250. A what?
Oh, that's really good. All right,
I did
yeah.
all right. Yeah.
By a stroke of absolute luck, Benny headed off in the right direction. You go in with all of the rope, and go ahead and roll a perception just real quick, just for flavor-wise. I'm just curious if you hear him coming this time.
Now that I'm attuned to like what the hell. Hey.
Yeah, so this time you hear some like chainmail kind of clanking. You only hear it about 10 feet before he comes up, but you're like ready this time. Is there any kind of motion or anything you want to make as you hear him? Again, running up, you have a feeling it might be him. It could be somebody totally different too, though.
The hand just hands up. Just, hey, look, I'm not a threat. It's
Okay.
me, your best ghost buddy.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, you go ahead and do that. And Artem, you run up, and that's what you see. What do you do?
He is ecstatic. Like, for the first time in forever, like, he might be showing joy, which may be even scarier, because, you know, crazy people happy is, you know, terrifying. So, yeah, as it comes, yes! Oh,
Oh no.
you have a rope to the outside?
I give him the note like a proud little Labrador. I'm like, look at this. I brought this to you.
And what does it say?
Opens it up. Like, ghost?
Oh, she changed it to echo.
Oh, okay.
Like it says ghost, and then there's like a few lines through it, and then it says echo.
Yes, Benny will follow. Benny will follow.
Oh no, he talks in third person. Maybe we should leave him there.
Cut the rope! Cut the rope!
She just disappears again, and the rope just falls on the ground.
All right, so you start like kind of tug on the rope. She goes back to where the rope came, and Benny follows, and you get right up to the point. Echo, you just keep on going. As you're kind of like going through, when you get to that kind of where all the symbols are, you just kind of like walk on through as if you walked through one way. You try to walk back through and just like painfully get obliterated, like there was a disintegration spell. You just go through and just like your whole echo just dematerializes, and you kind of snap back into your normal self with just feeling a lot of pain. And Benny, you see that happen right in front of you.
Ah, he stops. I imagine though, like if they're close enough, do all of them hear Benny's scream?
Oh yeah, you're just like barely peeking through the fog, and you just see them on the other side. You guys are like 15 feet apart, but there's these like big symbol. Oh, did I say they're like 20 feet long or something? I just want to be consistent. Yeah, so they're like 25, 30 feet away from you. But there's these things in the way. You just kind of see peeking through the fog is this tabaxi that Chimera has described to you. So you all see him at this point, but he stops in his tracks when he sees that violent disintegration that happens to Chimera's echo on the way back.
Do we see the violent disintegration as well? Or
Oh yeah, all of you see that as you're like pulling the rope back, and then just like, eventually all that comes back is the rope.
Does the rope smell or look weird? Is it sizzling?
You want to give it a sniff check? You want to do an Arcana?
well,
Sniff Arcana.
Taste the rope.
I mean, a general. Okay, I'll
Put
roll.
the rope in your mouth.
Taste the rainbow.
Yes,
I mean,
mister.
it could be perception. It doesn't need to be Arcana.
No, taste it.
Advantage if you taste it.
Yes, Daddy. Oh,
Advantage
okay.
if you
Taste
taste
it.
it.
Taste it. Don't be a coward.
Okay, Daddy.
Taste the rope. Taste the
Uh,
rope.
I'm gonna reload here.
You what was I gonna say?
I don't learn anything, but I look like a pervert, so that's cool.
Not really. But then you
Pull the rope
look
over,
at
like-
it a bit, and there's something foul about it. You just can't place what it is. You can't quite identify. Like,
Hunter, what are you doing?
something's awful about this. I can't quite identify how.
Well, I don't like it.
Why
you
did
just
you?
licked rope. Yeah,
Well-
it's probably
Well, it smelled funny
whose
too.
whose rope. More importantly, whose rope was that?
Oh God,
Whose
I
was
don't
in the
know.
front?
Whose was in the front?
It's hard to tell. You'll never know. You'll never know.
It's 4 people. I'm gonna roll a d4.
You know, we actively like roulette it real fast, so no one knows whose rope it is.
Yeah, you've lost track of whose rope it was, but man,
There's a greater chance it's Anwar's, since he has 2 pieces in there.
That's true.
Oh.
Yeah, but just imagine all of, like the forge residue and stuff. Just
Oh, that's what it is. It must be one of. Ugh.
Did you
Well-
lick a rope and get mesothelioma?
You might be
be
owed
entitled to
compensation.
Can he like? And Benny can see us, right?
Yep, Benny sees you. You see
Oh.
Benny on the other side. Benny, what do you do?
Hi.
Hello.
Hey there.
Come on,
Benny,
try
this is the
and
first
get
time
through.
that you have ever seen the outside since who knows how long ago you entered. You don't even know how long you've been in here at this point. This is the first time you've ever made it to the outside. At least close to the outside.
I want to, but I think if I cross these things, the same will happen.
Darling, to be fair, that she's not very strong.
Yeah, but that was pretty
It was-
brutal.
I read
looks
one of
pretty
Anwar's
gnarly.
books. I read one of Anwar's books, and it suggests that that is a theory, and probably you should, what do you like? Test
Yeah,
that theory?
This was not like a gentle Thanos blowing in the wind thing. This was like Dr. Manhattan going boom, just like blowing you up into pieces.
Yeah, give it a
Kind of
shot.
situation.
He's gonna take like one of his holy symbols from his neck, like clasp it in his hands, like give it a little prayer. The gods, she'll protect this if it works. And he tosses it across the threshold.
The rope lived.
Oh yeah, that's true. The rope lived.
Yeah. I
What if
would
I-
say that you toss it over and
No, I
I would say that it all disintegrates as you go through for your particular case. That all the
that-
stuff you threw over also just
And
Well,
now
actually,
you can't cast spells.
It's cool. You rolled a backup character, right? Jump on in.
I would say actually some you've picked up off the ground. I don't want to give like too much away at what's going on. Let's just say that how many symbols do you think you have? Like 6, 8?
I think he probably has 5 to 6 somewhere in there.
Roll a d6 for me.
All right.
I'm just picturing you with like bling.
Kind of what he
You
has.
toss the 5 or 6, and 3 make it to the other side and land, whereas the others vanish.
I do not think that I can cross.
Audra's gonna pick him up and examine the
Yeah,
Yeah,
symbols.
which ones
See what they are.
survived?
So I know we have magic-y shit that we can like teleport him out, but like just for the hell of it and not to waste a spell slot while she's investigating, I just want to put regular Echo like inside, like spawn her inside of it just to see if that's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a 20-foot long thing. You put out the echo 30 feet ahead of you.
It has to be 15, and then I can walk her 30. But like spawning her in it, is that a possibility? Just in case we have a magic-y item to get him out. It's not just a immediate waste of a spell slot.
Anwar's got portals, right?
I do have portals.
I just don't want him to waste a spell slot if we don't think magic will work.
I'm more concerned because Anwar's looking at these gigantic arcane runes on the ground and thinking that his portal gun that he invented last weekend might not quite stand up to gigantic fuck you demigod runes. It might shred his. It might not shred his body, but it will shred his atoms as they try to cross over the threshold.
You're reassembled all wrong on the other side.
Oh, no. That's what Benny needs.
It might more send him into frappe mode than.
So what?
In any case, yeah, you can create an echo and have it walk across, and as long as it's within 30 feet of you, you're just kind of straddling either side of it. Yep, it can cross in, just suddenly can't get out. Like if it like holds its sword up, like it's just the sword would start disintegrating.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, what holy symbols survived?
Let's. Gosh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what symbols he has.
Fair.
But let's say of all of these ancient ones that Arantis scribbled down for you.
Wait, those are the symbols on his holy symbol?
No. Of all the symbols that crossed over, there's one that's like really old and banged up and probably rusted. We'll say of this moon right here.
Okay.
You see one of those, and it is like old and crusty and rusty and gross. Besides that, the others that also look fairly old, but not nearly as old, are probably more contemporary gods than these ancient ones that Arantis scribbled down. But that's one of the ones that carries on.
It's probably fair to say we history checked those symbols before, so I won't necessarily do that now.
Those history symbols are like Arantis knows about.
Right, I was gonna say, but I will show it. The moon one, like recognizing it as being one he gave us, I will show it to Arantis just to, what does this mean to you? This is one of the symbols you put on our map.
It was one of the elven gods from my time.
So that Tabaxi is wearing holy symbols from how long? Thousands of years ago? Whatever it was?
3,000 years
That's
ago.
what I
This
thought.
one is. I don't recognize these other two.
I see. Well, even so, one symbol from 3,000 years. I'm gonna turn toward Benny. You there, what year is it?
I don't know. It's impossible to watch the stars.
What year did you find yourself in there?
That is a good question. Let's take you back to a world map which has the calendar on it real quick.
Well, we talked about this before. I don't think he knows.
Oh, right, yeah,
It's just drifted out of his mind at this point.
His memory's a little far gone.
Okay.
I think that's more telling than anything else. As you ask him that, you see him very much struggle, which may mean that it's so far that,
Yeah. Aldra's gonna, look back at the rest of the party, So...
Possible that the sphere of influence also causes, in addition to life, and Onwar's going to kick the dirt, but a memory deterioration.
Right. Well, as someone who also needs a holy symbol to cast spells, I'm going to return these to him if that's all right by you all. Toss them back over. I wouldn't want to leave, What are you? Are you a cleric like me? Or something else?
I was a protector, I think.
Insight check.
Maybe start a little. What's your name? Start a little more broad.
Benny.
Insight check.
Not all of my characters are liars, Sydney.
Oh my
This time.
This one just happens to be, but still, that doesn't mean.
One of my characters lies 100% of the time. Another tells the truth. You,
It's murder a man.
Benny, and you use these symbols to cast your magic, yes?
Yes.
I do the same. I don't want to leave you without them. I'm going to throw them back to you if that's okay.
Oh, he's plenty capable without them, just so you know.
Please.
Well, I guess right before I do, what's that insight check tell Chimera?
Was he a great
is-
protector?
He is
Maybe not
telling the
great.
truth about that. Like at one point, he might have been some sort of protector. He is. I think what's more telling it when he's just an okay protector.
I got a B in Paladin school.
Listen,
God.
people died. It happens. You know, you do
Just
your best.
reminds me of that. It reminds me of that one scene from Firefly. Mercy is the mark of a great man. Guess I'm okay.
Look, there's 2 A's in Paladin, but there's also a D, okay? I wasn't perfect.
I think the other more telling thing is that he is desperate to get the holy symbols back.
Yeah. I will toss them back, knowing like that they are, they're needed for some of what. Some
Oh
of us
shit!
do.
Here, I'll hand them off to you. Oh no!
No,
Oh,
I will toss them back.
Also with that insight, you would probably get that anytime he's recollecting, he has to he's kind of looking up into his head. He has to really think
Yeah.
about it. It's really struggling. It's almost like trying to remember a dream. You can tell he's pretty iffy about some stuff.
When the holy symbols come back over, he very much scramble panics to get them off of the ground and back onto his neck.
Yeah.
You now have 3 holy symbols, as opposed to 5 or 6.
The false gods were purified. These are left.
I love that as soon as you were like, he's got 5 or 6 holy symbols, it's like, I know the MO of this motherfucker. Mummy.
So, what do you guys do now?
Guys, can we have a quick sidebar about this?
I'd like to
real
go
quick?
look for the creature.
Anybody gonna do? You're not.
As you guys said, please do not leave.
We're just talking, but come back. We'll find out what we're doing. Okay,
What
so
are we
here's
doing?
my thoughts about this. It seems like trying to leave, and the reason why no one leaves, except for Knuckle left, supposedly. So there is a way out.
Magic
Isn't
led him,
it?
or he's strong as nails.
Or he found another way out.
Or
I mean, we could send him. Be like, hey, how'd you get out of Castle Hill?
The secret thing that he wants no one to know about?
Yeah, we could ask him.
Yeah. We'll circle back on that one.
All right,
Um,
cool.
Are you guys
All right.
investigating him right now? Anyways, you might as well just send him and ask him all the questions.
Yeah. Why not cut right to the
How
Rat-
do you feel about child murder? Just it's
He's
0
like,
to
you
10.
know what, Benny? We're gonna leave. We're just gonna do a descending
This
way.
looks really dicey, and
Nice
meeting
you.
I think we've established that there's one way out, and the person that knows how is on our sketch list. Current investigation.
just need to go meet up with the Gavin and just be like, man, vampires suck, haha.
That's good. Like
That's a good
mosquitoes.
joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
right
feel-
now, if we go in there, we're going in literally blind. But
I tried. I'm sorry.
no offense.
No, it's good intel though.
But this guy might be a guide for us. He's been here for who knows how long.
He also seems batshit crazy.
There is that. So there's
I mean,
that.
to be fair, all y'all seem a little batshit crazy to Pendon,
Well, so we should fit in just fine.
Yeah.
I do. he maybe once was a scavenger before. I don't necessarily think he is now, but also let's not give him the opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I'm
what if
awfully
we
fond of my holy symbol.
what if we strike a deal where he guides us to where we need to go in any routes that he knows, and exchange we'll try and get him out of here with us when we go.
I think that's fair.
Assuming he doesn't like turn to dust the second he leaves, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think it's worth a go.
Not too long after you mentioned that, Benny, not too far away from you, you see like a goblin on a warg rushing up near you and like leaping out and just goes right in and just becomes obliterated into dust. Like 15 feet to your left, like, oh!
He's made a hole for you. Go through.
I don't think there's a hole.
I can roll.
So we're just all going in?
I think this could be a blessing in disguise. Because otherwise we were just gonna wander around until we found something dark and evil looking. Which I'm guessing there's a lot of dark and evil looking things in there.
Hey, Benny.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are a lot of dark and evil shit in there.
The evil haunts these fogs.
All right. Evil haunts these fogs, y'all.
Yeah, that tracks.
All right. So strike a deal.
Did you say fogs or frogs?
Fogs.
Did you say fogs or frogs?
Hey, do you say fog or frogs?
If there are frogs, they will eat you.
Benny, go ahead and make me an intelligence check real quick to see if you can remember if a memory gets triggered.
Oh god, if there's fucking slot in here, I'm leaving.
Yeah. Not this way. You're
just
not.
like a grung soldier somewhere.
Yeah, it doesn't ring any bells.
I have not seen any frogs through the fog.
All right. He did say fog another time. All right. How's this for deal? You kind of be our guide, show us around, warn us of stuff, and we'll make sure that we get you out of here when we leave. Sound good?
Yes, I will take you through the fog, and we will get out together.
All right. Same team?
Absolutely.
All right. No trixies? No take-backsies? Just to
I
back
have no tricks.
All right. He says no
I'd like to
tricks.
insight that, the no tricks.
Yeah. Insight.
And then the paladin casts lay on tricks.
That's a damn good insight. Before that insight can be completed, Artem, I need you to make another intelligence roll to see if you remember anything that can help guide them towards how to get to the castle.
Oh dear.
Oh gosh.
Eddie,
Okay.
you're on the wrong side of the river.
Benny, you vaguely recall some guy on the ground bleeding out, yelling out wormhole, and you think that had something to do with the path to get to the castle. Like, it vaguely, or like, you're pretty sure that's what but you don't remember anything else he was talking. Like, it's a vague ass memory, and all you remember is the guy screaming out wormhole.
And that's what he's gonna say. That is wormhole to center.
So with that insight check, after you said, hey, no tricks, I'm gonna tell you everything, how do you feel that how honest is he being right now? He's like, oh yeah, I'll get you there.
When you say worm,
21, he would be able to tell that, like, you don't have much. You got something, but you don't have much to offer.
when you say wormhole, do you mean a hole which worms go through, or a portal in space, or a worm as in like WYRM, which is like a dragon but with no arms?
Um.
It's a very
It's-
good fucking question.
It's
I felt like that was
Um,
deserving of a 2. Like, you got wormhole. That could mean a billion things in D&D.
Is it a giant worm which itself has holes?
Right.
The Swiss
it
cheese
is a
worm.
wormhole.
Guys, I'm having second thoughts on this.
I'm having third thoughts on this. I think he knows what's up.
He seems to.
I like the cut of his jib.
Your memory loss theory seems truer and truer by the minute, Anwar.
You can't.
Let's just make sure we
I
get
thought
in and
you
out
were
of here
talking
as
to
fast as
Benny.
we can.
I thought you're like, man, your memory loss is awful. And I'm
No,
like,
no,
you
no, no,
can't
no.
just say that to
No,
people.
No.
Wow, your dementia is shit.
Jeez, Grandpa.
Oh, I miss
Like,
you guys.
make a
This
note
is
or
great.
something.
So, okay, out of character real fast, there are like a million reasons not to go in here.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, of course.
I am struggling to think of a good reason to go in there other than we know something's in there and we want to go fuck shit up.
I mean,
Well, let's give a reminder of why we're here in the first place. So, Kamira, what's your pitch for why the whole group is going in?
All right. The man who is responsible for killing my kid, we couldn't get any direct fucking dirt on him, but for some reason, vampires, ? And then when we followed the weird vampire thread that didn't seem totally connected, it was tenuous at best, we found a connection, like a very blatant one, where we have proof that he went into the Valley of the Dead and made it back.
yep.
And that's crazy as fuck.
I know at
And
least.
somehow has a connection to missing children.
Yes. And not just my missing child,
Multiple.
it's
Yeah.
continent wide.
That had vampire marks in its neck.
Yes.
You're like,
So what
It-
started as just revenge quest turned into vampire ? And then those two went like, "What?" And so now it's like, here we go. Also, Mazadon was like, y'all can't do that. And how fucking rad would it be if we were like, guess what we done did?
Remember how you
This is a-
said, don't do it, you're not allowed, and that's crazy? We did it.
well, at least in this case, he didn't say you're not allowed. He's like, you
Right.
guys
Okay.
are free folk. You can go do that. You're gonna die, but you know
Yeah.
you can do that.
He sent us south and he said, good fucking luck.
Let's make a suicide pact!
Uh-huh. Exactly. Yeah, that's what we did.
However, you also have every legitimate reason to be scared out of your mind and be like, this
Mhm.
sounds like certain death. The question is, do you guys want to brave through it to see if they can do anything about these missing or dead or vampire bitten kids? Or
I mean,
Do you
this
want to fucking
it started
come out?
as a Chimera quest, but this is an existential threat to our area.
Everything else, yes. It's tied to the kids, but like this guy was the person running the rebellion from STEM Garden. Like he was the primary leader.
at this point, you've kind of stumbled on a curse that has seemed to have lasted for
Mhm.
like 3,000 years.
As you do. I mean, you know. But also like 100% absolutely as players, if y'all are like, no, we don't want to, I will not be upset about it.
Longest
Uh,
I
curse,
will be upset.
Well,
longest
I mean,
curse that I ever...
Chimera, as Chimera gonna do, she gonna go. But also, like, if they're like, oh, I don't wanna, like, by all means.
Honestly, character reason too. Audra sees Benny right now as like,
This guy, if he's searching for a true god, perhaps should know if they be coming.
Always on the
Could've come-
grind.
This is my proselytizing accent.
no, but that's kind of in the back of her mind at least. And also, you know, she was like, yo, Cammy, I'm here to help you. So that's not changing.
So I say we go in with our new friend and Benny. We're trying to find the source of the dark god or curse that's plaguing these lands. So if you can bring us there, we could try and shut it down and ideally free everyone that's stuck here, including ourselves. Do you think that's something you can do?
What does that even mean?
Absolutely. I was rolling to see if he would remember why he's in here in the first place. And that would have been such a poignant moment.
Yeah, with a nat 1, like, upon them talking about, like, yeah, we're gonna, like, lift a curse, and he's like, right, there was a curse. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Smile and nod,
Something
boys.
about a curse. Why does that feel important?
That
Yeah,
feels
Benny
really
goes from like
familiar.
to absolutely, I will help. We will leave.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. We ready to do this?
Audra's
Yeah.
going. Audra's gonna hold up her own holy symbol, and just be like, "Oh, please," before she steps across.
Do we want to like drag the rope in as far as we can and leave it tied?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, or some
So
kind
it's
of
at
marker
least
next to it.
something visual that we
100%.
can. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we got any more shiny stones?
Shiny stones.
Just leave
I-
our trail.
I could leave a magical tinkering object there next to it. 5-foot radius light.
Be helpful.
I have 2 bombs.
Which is, I guess, functionally like one of the prism stones.
I
Right?
keep forgetting we have bombs.
Oh no, we don't have bombs. I have bombs.
That you have bombs.
Yeah,
I
get it
keep
right.
forgetting that you have bombs.
These are my bombs.
Hmm.
I talked them off of a rat man.
Some sentences that just only work in D&D. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else for leaving a trail that we have at our disposal.
We have 200 and something feet of rope, and we can either plant a flag or Anwar can leave like a little glowing like beacon there. That's not like, it's like a little red,
Still help.
object.
Do feel like we should bring at least one of the things of rope with us, though.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
I still have chains as well. I
Yeah,
don't know if
but
you're
it ain't
thinking
a
more
rope.
climbing or binding, but
Richard's just patiently waiting for us to get rid of all the rope, and he's like, "Surprise! You're gonna rock climb."
It's climbing.
and that's when the rope termites show up.
I told you it was a hole, you idiots.
Benny was telling the truth.
Richard, I don't know if this is where you got it, but it also, until just this moment, I just now pictured the Gerudo Desert from Ocarina of Time.
That's not where I got it, but if you want to picture that, sure. Yeah, it's like that, but like
Bigger.
a whole lot foggier.
Yeah. Yeah, we
All
could
right, so
plant
do you
something
guys-
just to...
Take a leap of faith and step over those runes.
Oh yeah, I already said Audra.
Do.
It went.
Okay.
We take
So-
one of the length of rope.
Before Onmore steps in, he is going to activate his. We said once per day, correct? The mental fortress. He is going to kick that on, so then kind of like a pink shield kind of appears, blocky Porygon style over his head, and then disappears.
And that's coming from a ring that he has, or is
Coming
that
from
the
a helmet that he has.
Yeah.
So that's only for an hour, but
And that
maybe
does
it-
what exactly?
for an hour, he has advantage on. He has resistance to psychic damage, as well as resistance, and advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws.
Okay. And
So- It seems there's some kind of mental degradation going on in there, and Anwar would not like to lose his faculties on this journey, so he's gonna hedge his bets.
Alrighty.
So as soon as you all cross over, Benny's gonna cast Blight on all of you. No,
Welcome to my desert kingdom.
Yep.
actually,
alrighty.
the first thing Benny does when you cross over, he is going to like hug the first person that comes across.
Nope.
And like touch and feel
that is
to make
not
sure that you all are
reciprocated
real.
from Audra. It's just very stoic, like.
This is a fully living person. That you've not felt that in a while.
You are all alive.
I
Oh.
do not know you well enough for a hug.
Benny, Audra's not a hugger. Nice to meet you, Hunter Valentine.
He like grabs onto you and he's like sob laughing.
Yep.
They are unreal.
I knew we should have left.
So,
This is when we find out he's some sort of like wild magic paladin, so we are not going to be safe around him at all.
I am going to require somebody to roll a D100, and then that'll be a good time to take like a 10-minute break. We'll come back in at like 9.
Yeah,
I'm on it.
Oh, Hunter's doing
All
it.
right,
All
you
right.
volunteered.
D100. D100.
Whoa! The curse is lifted. Everybody's
Lost.
level
This
20.
way.
We'll see you next week.
This way.
Before we start moving, just because we might get into an encounter or whatever, when you guys are near Benny Paladin, so within 10 feet...
Is that his last name?
You... What?
when you're near Benny Paladin.
Yeah, Benny Paladin.
Hey, Benny Paladin, how you doing?
He's over there
You
with Vinny
guys-
Sorcerer, you know?
You guys get a +4 to your saving throws.
Nice.
All of them?
Yes.
I'm sorry I said
Okay.
anything bad about you, Benny. I'm
Audra
sorry I
is
didn't
not.
believe you.
You have to be within 10 feet of him, but it is a +4 on all saving throws.
Alrighty.
Cool.
Well, now that I know how we've rolled on the random chance of what you guys are entering to, let me get about 10 minutes to prep that. So have a good time for a bathroom break.
Okay, BRB.
All right.
BRB.
Alrighty then, we are back.
Okay.
Jello, is it
so-
me you're looking for?
You guys dare venture? I mean, you are literally past the point of no return. You cannot return past these symbols now.
Did we get a pop-up that was
but,
like, finish your side quest now?
Hope you guys saved
Um,
before you entered.
I hope that you hit save before you crossed that line. So how are you doing this? How are you going in? Are you just going in willy-nilly? Do you have some kind of plan? Are you buffing up? What's going on?
I was gonna say for just
Obviously,
like
Anwar has done his buffing up the helmet thing.
I was just gonna say for like the procession, I feel like 2x2 is the way to go because obviously Benny is the one who needs to lead us, but you know he doesn't necessarily just need to be out in front alone. You know what I mean? So
Oh
personally,
yeah, you could go by 2x2 because
Yeah.
there's 6 of you now.
so that would be my suggestion.
So who's gonna be up front with Benny?
Not
Around
Audra.
would volunteer. He generally is the most eager to fight undead, and part of his like, what is the prime directive is to like protect life at all costs. So he would stand between you and whatever's in front of you. So Arantis would happily step forward.
I'll just
Wait.
brought up the rear a few times, so I think she would do the same here.
Just because
Okay,
I
who else
didn't,
is
I don't
picking up the rear.
question real quick because I don't know anything about him. Who is Arantis?
Arantis is a nearly 10-foot tall warforged ranger.
Oh,
Yeah, the first mission, the first arc of this campaign was they found this like old beat up warforged like stuck in a swamp, and he ended up being like 3,000 years old.
okay. So, but would Warforged have been common when? I guess Benny doesn't even have enough memory. He's gonna like touch Arantis. You're not the flesh.
He'll just like look down at you, be like, "I am wood and metal."
He's very sturdy.
He may be from
He's
this.
actually going to take a look at you. He's going to look around and just kind of give you a look over. Roll something quick. Go ahead and roll insight real quick.
Benny,
Yeah, Benny. Yeah, please.
he'll try. He's been rolling terrible so far.
Good God, can you roll anything above a 5 today?
No, I cannot. This is what happens
Um,
whenever I make a character that's here for like 1 or 2 sessions. They're just shit.
Given that he's a robot, he's really hard to read. You're like, all right. I mean, you are already at a state of like paranoia or fear that you probably fear this thing. It would be fair to say.
Oh yeah, he's terrified of it.
Yeah.
It's
If
also
anybody
10
else
feet,
would like
which
to
is
do an
also
insight
terrifying.
of Arantis, you're welcome to. Otherwise, we can just move forward. Mainly, I just need to know who's in the rear and who's in the middle.
Audra
And
can
are
take
you
the-
like all huddled up as close as possible, or are you like, are there like 10-foot gaps in between you of the rope? Like, how's it all looking?
Well,
I
the
can
rope
take-
only goes so far anyway, you know.
I think
You might
sticking
wanna
close in this atmosphere might be good.
Mhm.
All within
I
our
think-
5-foot squares, basically.
Okay.
I'll take second
Well, so-
row.
If you guys are all in close, then the 10 foot, you guys get
That is
everybody
true.
gets the buff.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah, Audra can be in the rear.
Okay. Okay.
Who's next to me back there?
I will.
Okay. As we, you know, get a few feet in, as like Benny's like observing Arantis, I'll like lean over toward Chimera. I imagine you've noticed this too, but it seems Benny and Arantis might be from the same time period.
That's thousands of years old, right?
Right. But he was wearing a holy symbol that Arantis knew from his day.
But I
And-
also had 6 other symbols.
That Arantis didn't recognize. Yeah.
Okay. Well, at
Not
the very least,
discrediting your theory, but
at the
also
very
he
least-
might have figured it out.
right, and at the very least, there would be bodies that once wore that symbol from that time. If a symbol's here, right?
The guy who tried to prevent you from going in, who was undead, spoke the old Elvish that only Arantis understood.
Right. If I don't know, it just clearly he's not in his right mind, and if he's really been in here that long, I don't want to think about it, but I have to.
Is it now dawning on Audra as like, I could end up like him?
Basically. Although at the same time, Aura just said, just please don't die. And I guess an eternal state of undeath doesn't mean I'm actually dead.
I
That's not the right
respectfully,
technicality.
No, I know.
respectfully, I don't think that's what she had in mind, like
Yeah,
at all.
No. No, and it's not the life I would want to live for her anyway.
All right, so you guys will venture in together. Just because I don't want to have like bazillion super advantage, I just want 2 people to roll perception to see if who wants to volunteer to roll perceptions.
I
Where we
figure it
got
should be the people in the
Yeah,
front,
yeah.
right? Oh, okay. Never
Well,
mind,
though that
guys.
middle row's got the stats.
Fair enough. I will say Benny switches. He puts away his greatsword, takes out his glaive as we're walking forward.
okay.
Oh, you know what? And while we're behind him, how many weapons, like what weapons do we see on Benny's back?
Greatsword, glaive, couple of javelins. It's not a ton, but like he does have some random
Okay.
ass stuff.
Alrighty, so you guys will go ahead walking forward a bit. At some point, you guys will start to hear some what sounds like metal clashing on metal, similar to what Chimera heard a while back. It's a bit faint, but you hear it kind of off in the distance. Do you want to go towards it or go away from it? Because at that point, or do you just want to continue with the compass? Do you just want to continue on the direction that's going to lead you, at least on the map, should lead you straight towards the castle hill? I will say that the sound of all the battle clashing and stuff is in the direction that if you're following the compass, that's sounds like the closer you get to the castle, the more clashing you're hearing from far off.
All right. Yeah, keep on keeping on.
Benny, any idea what those noises are off in the distance that we're heading towards?
Benny like turns to you in like the most serious way. The fighting of the lost souls.
Okay, that's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. But thanks for clearing that up.
He
And
puts
with
a hand on your shoulder, looks into your soul. We should not join them.
Yeah. I think we gotta join
And then he
them.
keeps going forward with his glaive.
With those 18s, a fair amount of ways before, like you're still kind of hearing off. You're getting closer to it, but it's still a fair ways off in the distance. This kind of nondescript clanging of metal that you can't really make out totally. And maybe it gets to the point where you can maybe start hearing some screams too. But with those 18s kind of going through the fog, you have a quick enough reaction time to notice that poking through the fog, pointed right towards your faces, are like a whole group of spear tips pointed towards you. And you've got enough reaction time to potentially stop your group before heading right into a group of things.
Yeah. Yo, stop. We got spears. We got spears. I'm gonna kind of level my bow at them.
Okay, so at this point, are you saying that at a normal volume, or are you like whisper? What are you doing?
On the quieter side, yeah.
Okay, I might even need a stealth roll to see how quietly you can. I guess first of all, were you guys even like trying to stealth going in, or are you just kind of walking in?
I mean, I think we would be walking a little tenderly.
I was
Right,
thinking,
I
I
was
don't think we were
Put
necessarily.
on a pass without trace kind of
Being
thing.
cautious.
I don't know if we would be necessarily like sneaking, but I feel like once the spear tips showed up, then Orontis would just real quick like, no, I don't think so, and pass without trace.
Okay.
Right? He has that spell, right?
Yeah.
He does. So yeah, you guys kind of blend in with the fog in this moment, and Hunter was able to say stuff just like hush hush quiet enough that you guys are all able to stop, and then you can all see just like a whole barrage of spear tips pointed towards you, and none of the spear tips are moving at this point. So that's a good sign, at least. They're not attacking you. They might not have noticed you're there yet. Or maybe it's just a bunch of spear tips that are planted in the ground.
I was about to say, what if they're petrified and they're not moving anyway?
That could be the case. You don't know yet. Right now, all you see are the spear tips, just barely poking through the fog.
Are they moving, Richard? Like is it like being held and there's like that slight wobble of being
Go
held?
ahead and make
or
a
are they...
perception check.
Okay. Because yeah, based on what Sid just said, that's a very good question. Okay, perception. 18.
Yeah, you notice a bit of wobbling. It
Okay.
seems like they're being held by something living.
All right.
Or maybe living is a strong word.
Yeah, there is a being on the other end of that spear.
That is what you would gather, given
Yeah.
you see them moving a bit.
Yeah. There is something on the other end of that spear. It's not a trap, nor is it the petrified things we've seen.
Play. Going around or through?
Benny, can we go around? Is that the wise move? Or should we keep going the direction we're going? You know the place, I think.
You should avoid the pointy spears.
Hunter, can you make a noise, over there? Maybe get the spears distracted?
Yeah, I suppose I can do that.
Wait,
Yeah, I'll
hold-
use.
Oh, go ahead. If you've got it's not physically you.
No, he's got thaumaturgy, right?
I do, but minor illusion would be the more
Yeah, but like,
appropriate.
What kind of sound do you make?
I think I will copy like one of the whales that we heard before,
Okay.
kind of Dopplering towards them a little bit from behind.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check real quick to see if there's any reaction out of these spear tips.
I want you to know that when you said whale, my brain thought WHALE. I was like, wait, we saw a whale?
Damn, that's a good perception. Not only do you see the spear tips kind of shift over a little in the direction that you did that, but also you hear a little bit of murmuring. Yeah, you hear a little bit more. You might not know the words unless you speak giant.
I do not.
All right, then you
I
don't
do.
know the word. You do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, go ahead, roll perception, see if you can hear any of the murmuring.
Okay. Giant. 18 again.
All right, damn, we got some good rolls here. So yeah, you hear some of the murmuring and stuff. It sounds like, definitely in the tone of voice, it sounds like something more your size. You don't hear that like that deep, like actual giant sound. It sounds much more like a Furbolg or a Goliath kind of size, or maybe half ogre or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you just hear them being like, "Hey, keep your wits about you. Like, there's something over there. Hold on. Just like hold your position, kind of stuff."
Okay. They're not moving toward the distraction just yet. They're holding their position.
Do we should we try
And you
and
definitely
talk?
hear that there's a good number of they way outnumber you.
Should we try and talk our way through?
They don't really know we're here, right? Well, they don't know exactly where we are, how many of us there are. I
Are
feel
you
like
guys like backing up before you talk? Because if you guys are having like a whole conversation,
Yeah, I think we like step back and kind of whisper.
I mean, there are more than them than there are of us.
Right, so like, should we? They're talking, right? So like, they can talk, they can listen, right? So maybe.
I mean, you're the talker. I'm not.
Right. All right. Do y'all want to like sneak behind while I talk to him? If things don't seem to be going great.
We need to stay together.
I mean, they have their spears out front and ready. Maybe we just avoid these guys.
All right. Let's try and get around, but if they see us, I'm just gonna start talking, and you guys try and sneak away or something. I'll catch up.
I don't know that you will, is the problem, but
Can I try and move around these guys using Pass Without Trace?
Yeah, you can totally do that. Do you want to roll a stealth check real quick just to see if you can kind of like keep within eye shot so you can know like kind of where the spear tips end and try to like kind of move around?
are we doing an average between us or just one person, like for the group?
Let's just have one person. It's gonna be plus 10, so unless it's really low, chances are it's gonna be fine.
Well, I guess I can roll that.
Okay.
Do I get advantage with the cloak or no, since this is a broader check?
I can't see you anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's just the plus 10. And plus they've got... I guess you'd have advantage because they can't see you.
And I got the sneaky shoes, or tippy toes.
Yep, you got all sorts of reasons for advantage, plus the 10. Alright,
So
yeah.
29.
Yeah, you guys will be good. You guys kind of go around. You have to go like 30 feet before you finally see that you can kind of round the corner. Like, there was a ton of them along here that seemed like, kind of what you can tell from all the spear tips, seemed like they may have formed some kind of like phalanx. And they're just like in a super huddled defensive position, and you guys just kind of sidestep that and move over. But just as you guys start to go around and head, like kind of start getting your bearings going back in the direction, ahead of you, you start feeling some just thuds that are going, like, you can feel it through the ground. It's very much like T-Rex footstep style in Jurassic Park. Like, you feel that going through you, those thuds. There is, and you hear not just like one at a time, you hear a number of them that feel like they're coming forward from your direction.
From behind the spearmen, or?
Yeah, from behind the spearmen, and like when you go off to the side and then forward, you start hearing that in front of you. And if anybody wants to make a perception check moving forward, you can go ahead and do that.
I can do it.
Okay.
Good people.
Not great.
Um,
I'm gonna go ahead and throw on Flash of Genius onto that.
okay.
That's 1 of 5 today.
Okay.
So make it a 17.
Okay, so that's 17. You kind of like crank up the volume on your little sensor thing, and you just first hear this like low rumble that sounds like, you know, like when a lion purrs, that's got that low volcanic kind of rumble. You hear that, and like after you've turned up your thing, you hear a full blast T-Rex roar. And it's like, and like goes right in your ear, and everyone hears that. And immediately after, you hear this like deep sounding I guess, yeah. I'm just describing to you as a player, you would understand, but as PCs, you would have no context for what these sounds are. They just sound like these gigantic roars. But followed right after that is like a giant elephant, like multi-trunk blasting. Like, so you hear some craziness happening shortly before you, and behind that, you're definitely hearing all the clashing of various metals and various screaming happening behind that at this point.
We keep going around.
I
Let's
think
give that a wide berth.
yeah, I think at the terrifying
Like,
thing,
I sidestep that completely.
Yep.
I think very much in line with Benny from the Mummy, he's gonna start praying to each one of his holy symbols, and in doing so, he's gonna cast protection from good and evil on himself.
Alrighty, I'm going to need one more D100, please. Who's not done one yet today?
Actually, I haven't. Am I the only one who hasn't?
You might
I
be.
haven't either, but go for it.
I thought Andrew was the only one who did it.
Sydney
no, Sid did one.
Okay.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. How about a 28?
Had me in the 8.
Yeah. So after you start sidestepping, you hear a huge crash go down. Like a freaking I don't have a good description, sorry. A big freaking crash happens. You just hear a huge thud that reverberates through the ground.
Like of a body going down, you mean?
Yeah, but like
Okay.
a giant freaking body going down. And shortly thereafter, you hear a few trunks go off again. That kind of sound, and then you start hearing footsteps heading in your direction.
Oh.
You don't get the sense that it's necessarily chasing, but like it's heading in your direction, perhaps just by chance. It's heading your way now.
We just happen to be on its, yeah.
Yep, and again, as you continue, kind of like you sidestep and start going forward, you are getting closer and closer to where you're hearing like a lot of action at this point. So what do you guys want to do?
I'm going to echo that noise back at it with minor illusion.
Okay, you do that, and immediately you hear.
Oh,
no.
You're heading your way now.
Wrong move. Let's go.
Your Foley work is really on point right now, Richard. That got me.
All of that is able to bang on. So it's heading your way, and it sounds like some demon of an elephant thing. Like you don't even know what this like potentially is. It sounds terrifying though. If anything, it might sound like a giant Loxodon with multiple trunks.
Does it sound like one thing running toward us, Richard?
It sounds like either one thing or maybe like a couple of giants running towards you. It's either one or two things.
Okay.
You hear a total of 4 legs moving.
Okay. So it's 4 enemies on pogo sticks, guys. That's what's coming towards us.
That's right. It's 4 enemies on pogo sticks. And it's heading straight for you. What do you guys do?
Hide? Do we hide? We could hide, or we could run.
Can we hide?
Running is good.
If somebody can pack my body, I can like throw the echo at it, just like sprinting headlong into him or something.
Yeah, I can just as we keep going.
Benny, you can roll another intelligence check to see if you can remember if there is anywhere that you can think of to hide. Wow.
Oh, Benny.
No. You are full of fear
Oh, Benny.
and any kind of memory of a place to hide. Like it's just nothing but the fog, man. You got your genius idea is to run back to the phalanx and try to jump in and try to hide with them.
My God. we can go back into the spears.
Nope.
With just like a sock on your face, like I am also a mammoth.
So in one direction, what sounds like a big mammoth with multiple trunks is heading your way, and the other direction sounds like it's a huge battle going on. Which way do you go?
Well, if we have to fight one of them, I'd rather fight the one thing than an army. But that's me.
But also, it's coming towards us anyway.
Yeah.
It sounds awfully big.
I'm gonna draw my beer and
You know what?
Andre, if you pick me up, I can try to send the echo after it and maybe
Okay.
get it to go another way.
Well, you don't need to tell me twice, and she'll I guess, yeah, just kind of, because I got that furbulk strength, so she kind of just pick you up and keep moving.
So after I am, like, assured that I'm not going to be, like, abandoned, not that I'm saying that anybody would, but that would be the opportunity to do it.
Okay, we're gonna run, Kamira. You stay here and figure it out.
I'm going to send my, the Echo Avatar, just, like, barreling, like, towards where the elephant thing is coming from. Hopefully either gonna spook it to make it stop or distract it long enough to buy some time, or maybe lead it elsewhere. One of the three. We just hope we find it first.
Melody is going,
If that doesn't work, I have a thing too.
Either fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses.
She's correct.
oh god, can you imagine all
alright,
those little
So,
horse
you
fights?
pick her up, and so you guys are running closer to the battle while she's distracting the thing, or are you still, like, are you running off to the side until you can recollect yourselves, or where's everybody else going? Or are you staying put?
Ideally away from the sound.
Yeah, I think we're
Yeah.
I feel like we're like sort of like almost like just circling around, like nope, not that way, nope, not that way, nope, not that way. You know what I mean?
But wait, didn't we also come to understand that we'd have to break through like a circle of war to get to where we needed to go?
Yeah,
Other than the word wormhole, yeah, that's your understanding. Hey, stop it.
And there may be like potentially a lesser force to break through. Like I feel like if we were to like go around the periphery, we might eventually find a battle that seems less intense that we can more easily pass through.
Probably find a hole.
Yeah.
A wormhole.
Yeah, so far you've not found any, at least, hole in the noise at all. It sounds like that's a clusterfuck you're heading towards. All right, so Kamira, are you running straight towards the sound of the elephant creature thing, or are you going elsewhere? Like, how are you trying to divert its attention?
Echo is charging after it. My plan is once it, like, I see it, it sees me, she veers off to hopefully lead it away.
Give
Okay.
us a hole.
Mm-hmm.
A wormhole. Whole lot of worms.
Or this elephant
Yeah.
can remember me till my dying days and, like, tramples on my corpse. Have my way.
That's a good article.
It's such an interesting article, man.
There we go. Yeah, so you run straight forward, and it is this thing that you have, like, heard in legend. This freaking tentacle, like, multi-trunked tentacle, nosed, gargantuan elephant.
It was said that they used these to overtake, or when the Empire came in, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh shit,
Yeah, so it,
that's interesting.
you, like, run straight forward, and, like, you look up as just all you see at first are the squid-like tentacle trunks that kind of come out, and what do you do when, like, so imagine all you see so far is, like, a whole group of tentacles that are coming down higher than you can really see. They're just almost like coming out of the sky straight towards you.
Audra definitely feels like her entire body, like, jolt. It's just a panic response of like, oh my god, there this is. The echo though very much kind of comes skidding to and I want to say she might like have a moment where she's like, I don't even want to look at this, we don't need this, but it's not even not even a moment of thought and thinking. It's the halt and then like, okay, this way we don't want to get close.
Yeah, going around, you can kind of like get to the point where you can see its feet or whatever. It is going to roll to attack you to see
That's
if
cool.
you can strike the. Yeah, like you're like freaking like trying to dodge and run, and you just feel this smack from behind, and your echo vanishes, and you snap back into yourself, and you definitely, it seemed like you got a tentacle to kind of like swing down in another way where it wasn't going straight forward at least. You can roll perception to see if it's still following you guys or not. If any of you want to roll that.
What did you see, Chimera?
Damn.
Ooh, everything is the answer.
You, after seeing that up close and come down and hit you and everything, you are jolted. There is so much adrenaline running through you. You hear everything, every little thing, and you hear it as if it is kind of halted and doing that kind of like, it seemed like it sent off its path even just like a few degrees a different way. And it's heading in a slightly different direction now. And given the limited visibility, it looks like it's not chasing in your direction anymore. And you just kind of hear it start to go off in a different way. Ever so slightly, but just enough to keep you guys safe.
I think it worked.
What was it?
Yeah!
Then it comes like coming back. I do my absolute best to describe the 8-tentacled mammoth elephant from lore.
Wait, I thought those were supposed to be... Well, I guess everything in here is supposed to be dead, isn't it?
I don't know why you'd think that was supposed to be dead.
Or driven out of... Oh no, those were brought in with the Empire.
Yeah,
not
the
driven out.
Empire
Yeah, my bad.
brought those in.
Other way around.
It's
Yeah,
really
they were like,
interesting
"Hey,
that
we'll
they're here.
Right.
You and like take your most prized,
Yeah.
like your most sacred animal, and we're gonna fuck it and make it ours."
We're gonna fuck it and make it ours.
Bestiality, legal under the Empire.
I meant fuck with it. You know what I mean? Anyway,
So how did that...
so that kind of went off there, and I'll just require whoever the last person to do it hasn't done a D100, please roll a D100. See.
It's you or me, Artem. You feeling? You've been rolling not great.
Yeah, why don't you do it?
No, this is it. This is the
Nobody.
time. This is gonna be the one.
I'll roll the most important one later.
Ooh.
Sure.
Are death saves?
Hey.
Hey.
So, what exact path are you going on at this point? So you say you didn't want to go directly towards the battle. Are you just kind of like skirting around trying to find an opening, like listening for an opening kind of thing?
Mm,
I think that was the consensus.
yeah. Until one battle sounds less bad. Like if we only hear two swords, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So why doesn't somebody roll perception? You can have two people roll perception to see if you can kind of hover around that kind of circle you're in to see if you can find an opening.
That's better.
Good. Yeah. So eventually you find a spot where you're hearing a bit less that you might be able to make a bit of an inroad in. You're still hearing some stuff. But you what do you call it? But yeah, you think that this is your opening, this is your shot to go.
I will say, I think now that we have passed without trace up for, what was it, 10 minutes, an hour?
Yeah, it's probably been at least 10 minutes. You guys had to weave in for a while.
Okay. Well, we'll probably
I don't
be a
know,
little
it's
bit
a
more.
mile in. If you guys are like mainly walking, but if you guys start running, I mean, you guys aren't like.
Pass without traces for an hour.
Oh, it's for an hour. Then yeah, you'd still up.
I think we'd probably be moving a little bit more quietly and deliberately than we were before. Just kind of.
Oh yeah, once we got the good scare. Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, eventually you kind of find a way or you find an opening, and do you guys just go forward then? You kind of seize it.
How far is it? Still foggy? We still can't see ahead or anything.
You still can't see ahead very far. However, I will say that with that 24, you start going forward, and then you notice there is a dip, as if like a trench was either dug out or like with a mold earth pushed down. Somehow, over the course of time, a trench was created. It's not like a World War I trench, but it's definitely purposefully carved out in whatever way.
So it's like a sharp dip down.
It's a
not just
sharp
like a...
dip down
Okay.
followed by a big thing upward. It's possible, Anwar, you're smart enough to realize too that like there's a sharp dip down, and then because there's a big mound up above it, it's possible that you're hearing less of it because there's a bit of a sound barrier, and that's why things are a bit more damp. So in any case, yeah, you can. That's what you see basically, is that there's a trench that heads down both towards your left and your right, but you have some cover between you and whatever chaos is going on the other side of that.
Okay. Then I direct us through that trench, and I guess keep walking that way if it seems less populated.
Yeah. So we'll say that you headed for. At some point, the elephant thing drove you towards the left. So do you want to keep on going? Like when you get into the trench, do you want to keep on going left to explore more if there's any more things dying down, or you want to head back towards the right and down in the trench?
Is the right closer to the direction that we needed to go?
It's kind of like you were on an outer circle and you've gotten closer to an inner circle, and so left or right doesn't necessarily matter. At some point, you're going to have to go more in the circle.
I say let's. Well, we know to the right there's more fighting, or there's currently fighting. We don't necessarily know what's on the other side, so let's go the other side then.
Okay, so you go down into the trench and towards the left. The trench itself is pretty narrow, we'll say, like only 10 feet wide. But while you're down in that trench, the fog is not quite as bad. The fog has seemed to kind of wash over it a little bit. So while you're in the trench and kind of like ducking down a little bit, we'll say the trench is like 5 feet down, and so if you're kind of like ducking down, if you're one of the tall folk, you can start to see a bit further ahead, a good 30-40 feet instead of like 15-20 feet. Who wants to go out in front? Is it the same two people, Arantis and Benny?
I think so. Benny still has a spear out in front of him.
Okay.
Well, his
I'm
glaive.
trying to remember if Arantis has a shield or not. I think he just
Sure.
is a shield.
His glaive.
Is a shield.
Yeah, he doesn't. I don't see a shield in his inventory. Do you have a shield in his inventory, Ryan?
I think he likes to two-hand it.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so yeah, he goes down in there, Benny in the front, and at some point, go ahead. Somebody can give me a percent. All right. So you guys go in, and at some point, kind of like around, like it doesn't always go in a straight line. It is kind of curved, and every once in a while, like will kind of take a sharp, jagged turn in a couple ways. It's not perfect. But at some point, when you go around a corner, you see a number of pikemen who are like, ah! And they start running for you. I'm
Brim,
gonna
Brim.
go in order of who's out in front, kind of from front to back. So Arantis, seeing that come up, he is going to what do you Ryan, you played as him for a little bit. What do you think he would do? Would he like go full tree mode and like block the whole area to defend you guys, or you think he'd do
How
one
far
of his
ahead of us are they?
Hmm?
How far ahead of us are they?
Oh, we'll say it's like 20 feet when they come around the corner. They're like 20 feet. They
He's been making
appear-
pretty good use of Entangle to either stop people from charging us or from things getting away. So
Yeah, I was thinking
he
Entangle
could
could be a good one. So he's
just
gonna
like
cast
slam the
Entangle.
ground and then vines everywhere.
It seems like there's a number of them are coming around the corner, so you're not quite sure their total numbers. Some of them are hidden behind a corner. But you see like at least 4 of them start to round that corner when he does that entangle thing there. Benny, what do you want to do after he does that? I'm just gonna roll to see how they that. And I will say that these people coming around the corner appear to be goblinoid, but not goblin. They're definitely taller. They're like hobgoblin type.
Gotcha. I think. Do any of them get stuck in the vines?
Do any of them get stuck in the vines? Yes, half of them get stuck, whereas the first 2, it looks like they like were just on the other side of the entangle, so 2 are gonna start to break through while the 2 behind them are kind of getting stuck in the thick of the weeds.
Okay. Well, as those get up closer, Benny's gonna attack them because they're clearly coming at us.
All right.
All right. So, a thing I have, because they're within 5 feet of each other, I get advantage on any attacks on them.
Nice.
So, here's the first attack.
Yeah, that hits.
Pretty good. And I'm just gonna roll the second attack real quick as well.
Okay.
Wait, which one did I? Oh shit. Oh, but that one didn't roll damage. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That second one's definitely a hit too, though.
Okay.
Alrighty, it takes you 2 hits, but you are able to kill this thing. How do you want to kill your first pikeman? At the campaign scene, anyway.
Yeah. So as they come with their pikes held up, he's going to slash downward first and like bash in their head a little bit. And because Benny's been in here a while, like even though he can't remember anything, he knows the rules. That head's coming off.
Yeah.
It's like second nature.
Cut off the head. It's zombie rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you totally cut off. Yeah, you bash in and then cut off the head of one of them, and then the other is going to. I'll just roll a d6 to see what order he'd go in. Okay, so that guy is going last. All right, so either Hunter or Anwar, which one of you wants to go next for that? So there were at least 4. There could be more behind the corner. 2 of them are stuck right now. 2 got through. 1 just got totally murdered, like perma-killed by, or at least perma-kill as much as can be, by
Like
Benny.
Cedar Man.
There's another one who now looks like he's getting ready to stab Benny. So what do you do?
Would I be able to get all of them in a 15-foot cone if I like moved up next to Benny?
15 feet. Yeah, I'd say just barely. Yeah, you could probably get 5 feet on the first one, and then like 2 rows back, or where the other guys are tangled up. So yeah, I'd say yeah.
Cool.
It would also burn up some of the entanglement, though. I would say.
Fuck it, I'm going for it.
Okay.
I rush up and stab my beer into the ground, and then raise my hands up, and just little doors open, and flame rushes out.
All right, they need to make some dex saves.
And I'm pretty sure. Okay, that should have asked. That should have cast at second level.
Okay,
That's
so roll one
weird.
more d6. All right, so 11 damage.
11 fire damage.
11 fire damage. All right. So the guy out in front is able to kind of dodge out of the way. It's only going to take half of this a little bit. It's going to zoom by him though, and the two people in the back are just like, ah! Just getting completely burned up, caught up in the entanglement. They can't escape it, and they're just, they are lit up in flames. And those two guys are screaming their heads off. They should be dead, but they're not fully. And the guy out in front definitely not dead. Anwar, what do you want to do?
Oh, I also want to disengage and back up.
Okay. Bonus action disengage. All right.
Yeah.
When Hunter backs up, Anwar's going to kind of shift over into a spot. He's going to hold out his arm, and it's going to transform into the lightning launcher. And he's going to take 2 shots at that one that is threatening Benny.
Okay.
And if the first one hits, it does an extra d6.
Hey.
No.
Miss Chimera.
We rolled
Chimera.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that your gadget kind of like malfunctions a little bit.
Oh, that's still not much better.
Yeah, that second, it's just like misfiring at this point. I'm gonna say you need to take a bonus action intelligence check to try to fix it.
Chimera changed it from a natural 1 to a 3.
Oh, okay. So you see Chimera in a timeline where it just completely breaks and almost like blows up in his fist a little bit. But instead, you shift over to a slightly better timeline where rather than just completely breaking, it just kind of malfunctions in a way where it like shoots off into the air a bit, but doesn't, overall, it's something that you could like quickly tinker with a free action while you're going back.
Yeah, I'll give it a quick like Bonzi smack and try again.
Okay. So you get one more.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's try that. Wow, doesn't want to hit.
Wow, just it's really just like sticking right now. It's not doing very well. It's kind of malfunctioning. Is there anything else you can do as bonus action, or is that the end of your turn?
No, Onwar's gonna be like, "What is going on? Now is not the time." And he's gonna pull out a screwdriver and start working on it.
Not to work. Do you hang back as well behind Audrey and Nero? Do you?
Yeah, I think like absent-mindedly, he'll just kind of walk back to where he was and start screwdriver again.
Okay. So either Audrey or Chimera, you can go next. There is still a guy who's not nearly as hurt, and then there's 2 people screaming in flames behind them.
Sid, did you want to go?
Yeah, why not? We're just gonna throw the echo at him. Or I guess I could technically throw my shield at him, but we'll go with the echo.
Okay.
Whichever one is closest, Echo is gonna bolt forward and attack. Plus 89. That'd be rad. Should I just do these like one attack at a time? We'll do it one attack at a time. We'll see how this goes.
It's definitely a hit though.
8.
Yeah. Okay. How do you want to kill the first guy who's a little bit charred?
Well, we definitely saw how Benny's been dealing with stuff. So we'll just take a page out of his playbook. So that first one, it's gonna just be a slice across the neck, and then
A decapitation right there. Heads are flying.
and then off to the next if I can. If
Yeah,
it's
you
close
definitely
enough.
see- there's the 2 people burning up a bit. I'd say that like it's still kind of an active fire going right now because it's also like all of the entanglement stuff is like flaming up too. But
Sure.
so you might risk taking a little bit of fire by stepping right near the fire to attack them, but it's up to you. Oh yeah, you try to like step forward, but ooh, that's hot. You don't quite get in close enough to finish them off.
Okay. We will call that good, except for, or no, I summoned my avatar or my echo, so that's a bonus. No, we're good.
All right, Audra, the two people in the flames that are not completely dead, they're screaming bad. They might even be causing a commotion.
Yeah, I wanna put an end to that. I wanna put an end to that. So I'm also gonna attack and then bonus attack. And we'll see how those need to be distributed.
Okay.
So
you're forward and trying to stab in at some heads to.
Yes, yeah, it's same deal as the others. Seeing what like Benny have done and what Kamir has done.
Okay.
Ame deal. Hey, they should be 2 hits. 26, 25.
The 26 hits. The 25, it also hits.
Okay, I was like, really?
No, I just wanted to fuck with you.
They have flame activated armor.
Yeah. Describe how you take out these two guys.
Do you need me to roll damage, or is it we're good?
No, they were at like 1 HP.
Oh, okay.
Gosh dang it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I swipe once and yeah, so I swipe once, and on the first swipe, just because she was gonna do this instinctively anyway, she's swinging with her like extra like radiant swing. So it like very like it almost has like I guess that like lightsaber quality where it's like a cauterize as she's cutting. So it's like yeah, extremely clean. So there's like no real blood spray with it either because it's instantly. And then that first body goes down, and then she just comes right back across with the second cut, but that one's gonna be a lot bloodier because it's not going to be cauterized with radiant damage.
Alrighty.
And I just drop them both, and just like those screams were rather concerning.
Yeah. All right. So you guys do all of that, and then you hear a bunch of like, hup, 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 and you suddenly running over 4 on each side of you. Like pikes are dropped. You hear like clang, 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 and then like all up side of you with short bows. They're just shooting y'all like fish in a barrel from like up top the trench, 4 on each side. They just like look down, just start shooting at you guys. I need to do some rolls real quick. Ooh, my god.
I didn't like that reaction.
Hunter, what is your AC?
That Hunter?
Yeah, what's Hunter's AC?
Oh boy. That would be a 16.
Okay. So, Hunter, you were just barely able to dodge this. I need to roll 2 more of these. I said 4 in each. Oh, so actually, so this is just from the left right now. There's one going towards Hunter, one going towards Audra, and we'll say 2 towards Arantis because he's the biggest target. Alrighty. So that's 2 are definitely going to hit Arantis. And then Audra, what's your AC?
20.
20. That just barely hits you then.
Okay.
So that's that side. And okay. Benny, what's your HP? Or sorry, not HP, I mean AC.
16.
16. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of armor are
Kamira,
you
what's
wearing?
yours?
He only has
Jail.
chainmail
Oh yeah.
and
All
his
right,
no shield because two-handed.
Anwar, there is a 22 towards you. Do you want to do anything about it?
This is a arrow.
This is a short bow arrow. Yep.
He'll take it.
Okay. Benny, That will hit you. No one else is hit. So, Audra, Benny, Arantis got 2, and Anwar got 1. So, let me just roll once, and just everybody's gonna take the same amount of damage. Okay. So that is 7 damage to each of you, and that's gonna be 14 to Arantis.
Ow.
So yeah, they're just 4 on each side. They're just shooting down at you, but they don't seem like they're the best soldiers ever. I mean, they're shooting pretty well, but it's not like they can shoot 2 at a time or anything. So so with that, we're gonna go back over to Arantis, who is up there. What do you think? If they're close enough and he's tall enough, do you think he's just gonna like reach out and try to grab one and like pull it down, or what do you think he'd do, Ryan?
Arantis?
Yeah, unless you got a better idea, I think that's.
Let me see. So there's a couple in front of him, correct? And where are the other ones? What's the position of those?
Yeah. So let me bring you to a thing that hopefully you can see. This is a completely blank map, by the way.
That's fine for me.
oh,
I
there we
don't
are.
need it to be all pretty and everything. It just
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see
Just
where
that
they are.
visualization.
Some idea. So there's 4 dudes on the left.
Wait, do you guys actually see something?
It's like right in the middle.
Hold on. Let
Bottom
me give you sight.
Oh, I don't have a token. That's why.
Yeah.
I'm like,
For
I just
a
see black
second, when
guys.
you were like a blank map, I was like, yeah, Richard, it's a black screen. Thanks. Until I zoomed on it.
Controlled by Benny.
This looks like we're in a lovely spotlight.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Controlled by Benny, and I just need to give you sight. I'm trying to remember. I have to go dynamic lighting.
I have that like gene where sudden bright light can make me sneeze, and apparently it also works with a battle map.
Okay, I think that should work. Can you see something now?
I
I can see
some-
us.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So, anyways, there's you guys. Let me just see if I can just grab some random archer thing. It's not gonna be perfect.
Would somebody call for me? Secret agent?
We're not doing phrasing anymore, Tony.
Ma.
Oh, I can put in the health bar so that you guys can see. That's good.
There you go. Anyway, so let's just say, just pretend you're all in a 10-foot trench, and these guys have basically like come over either side to just like be pointing right down at you, fish in a
Cool.
barrel, which is why they were able to hit even
Got
the
it.
well armored ones.
So 10 feet up. Yeah.
5 feet up, which is
Oh,
why
as
Arantis-
in 10 feet wide trench.
10 feet wide.
Okay, sorry.
But yeah,
Glad I asked.
Yeah.
The guys in front of us are dead again.
Yep. Yeah. The guys in front of you are dead.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, that's helpful to know. I think.
My thought was Arantis might just try to grab one and put him down into the thing with you, but he could do something. It's up to you.
My thought is Arantis is not Arantis' first time. And are these guys openly undead, or are they like ghost apparitions? Kind of just.
Openly.
They look like hobgoblin soldiers to you guys. They don't immediately seem undead.
But he doesn't feel conflicted about fighting these because he knows that their souls are trapped here, correct?
He does not feel conflicted about fighting these things. He assumes that they're probably undead. Like that.
Then
thing.
I think he's gonna go like full Terminator mode and be like, "We must evacuate. Head into the trenches." And then he's going to raise one of his fists, rocket punch, and try and knock out one of the guys right here towards us.
Okay.
Because I don't want him to get too bogged down in this and get stuck behind. I think he's gonna try and cover their exit.
Okay. So if you keep on going forward, that's where he entangled, but he can just drop that, especially as some
Yes.
of it is entangled. He'll just be like, "Go."
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to take a step forward and start telling people to come forward, and then he's going to take a shot at Probably. I mean, it doesn't super matter, but like one of the ones, whichever one hit him, I think he'll actually attack.
Okay. Let me just do a little thing here. Just to give you an idea what it's like. There you go. There's a nice little corner and everything that you can't fully see, but that's generally the idea.
Got it. Then he'll go ahead and kind of go here and pick off one that's close to him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, there were some people who were helping out. Sorry, look, just give me a second to this in. We'll just put these guys in here. So yeah, as you go around this corner, you see that there's a good chunk more. Should just be done with this in a second. Okay. So as you kind of go around that corner, there's a pikeman who are right there.
Oh, hello.
Is he just gonna try to crash through him? What's he doing? Punch was his action.
Yeah, I didn't see that before then.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't have seen it before you went around the corner. He would have just been like, boom, and then he goes around the corner, he's like, oh shit, there's a...
I think in that case he would go, I think he would go Primeval Guardian to deal with these guys, to start smashing through them.
Can he do it as a bonus action? Because he would have done the rocket punch thing before he saw what was around the corner. So he's already used his action.
Okay, yeah, let me roll for that then.
Okay. And again, I'm just, rather than turn order, I'm just going with who's in order. Alright, yeah, that totally hits.
That, I believe, is 2d10. Force damage. Rocket punch. 411 damage. You know, above average. Or average, I guess.
11?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. You shoot up, and it is going to blast that guy way far back, and it looks like basically he punched so hard he punched his whole torso off the dang guy, and like his legs just fall down. But this guy, he is knocked out of view at this point.
He Raymanned him.
Does he make a bowling pin noises when that happens?
No, because he's not crashing into anything else, but you definitely hear large cracks.
Okay, yeah, so Guardian Soul, as a bonus action, you temporarily grow and become this. So I think he will do that here to become large. Your speed becomes 5 feet. Your reach increases by 5 feet. You gain a number of temporary hit points at the start of each of your turns, but not there yet. So.
All right, so yeah, he firmly plants in, and he also grows so much. He's back in the fog, and yeah, it's pretty much like your sight there is about what he can see. So he sees them as far back as he can see. Pretty much, he might see an end to it. It might just be the 8, but it could be more. So. Anyways, so that's what's going on with him right now. But he doesn't see anything else above the trenches. It looks like it's all in the trenches at this point, other than these guys who showed up on the sides. All right, so that is his turn. Benny.
All right, so Benny's gonna. How high up are these two in the, because we're down in the trench? How far up are they?
5 feet.
Okay, so I can still attack with my glaive.
Yeah. If you were like 6 feet tall or even 5'6", like you could see their feet. You know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna get rid of the glaive. It's just too useful. So I'm gonna attack. The one that directly in front of me at least first.
Are you fighting at advantage?
Yeah, so if they're within 5 feet of an ally, I get to hit them with advantage.
Oh dang, you got like your own version of pack tactics or whatever.
Basically.
Yeah,
It's like reverse pack tactics. If they're
you
together, I'm better.
you definitely hit.
Okay, and then second attack because I don't think that'll kill it.
No, 7 isn't enough to kill it, but you get a good slash.
Well, actually, I think this makes more sense. So I also have a thing because I took the slasher feat. I think this is very much, especially because we were told to run.
Mhm.
So that with the slasher feat, I can, whenever I hit a creature with an attack that deals slashing damage, I can reduce the speed of the target by 10 feet until the start of my next turn. So
just
Benny
to be clear,
literally.
are you guys running in the opposite direction because Arantis is like blocking? Because you guys were heading in the direction of where Arantis is.
I think we're going. I think he told us to like keep going the direction of him, right? Or is it the opposite direction?
It kind of seems like he's blocking the way now. So
He can move through friendly squares.
that's true.
That's true.
right, so
I got
he's
the
saying,
feeling
yeah,
that
just
we were continuing.
okay.
Yeah. So
All right,
what Benny's gonna do is he's like essentially slashing at their ankles so that you know they're gonna move slower. So with the second attack, he's gonna try and hit the one right next to it and try and like reduce both of their speeds.
Okay.
So hopefully this works because that's very in character and I kind of love it.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, yeah, same thing. Slashes at their ankles so that they're gonna have a tougher time moving, and
Yeah,
then
you slash right through their ankles to the point that they like fall down to their knees.
Nice.
Yep.
And then he's going to use his feline agility, which will double his speed until the end of his turn. So 1, 2, 3. Oh my god! So he goes around the corner. Oh my god! Is what he actually says. And then backs up. I guess into this corner here. Which I guess the other party members would see him like get scared back up.
Alrighty. So
Yeah,
that happens.
Yeah. As a
Hunter
sign that like there's
or
stuff
Anwar?
up here.
Hunter or Anwar, what are you doing?
After you.
Oh, me?
Sure.
All right. Well, let's see what we got here.
You got a lightning launcher, you're not so confident in, and you got people shooting you like fish in a barrel.
Yeah, that's not great. Not super stoked about that.
Let me
10
put
foot
some markers on the 2 guys who have been cut down to their knees.
radius sphere. All right. Yeah. So let's see. He can start. He's like, and he's gonna slam his robotic arm again, and it's going to transform into the sonic launcher, and he is going to place a like a little sonic bomb right in between. He's gonna use shatter, right, 10-foot radius. That should be able to get all 4 of those guys.
Ooh,
So
nice.
kind of like it goes behind him and it just boom detonates.
Alrighty.
That is a shatter for. Let's get some good damage there. 15 damage. I need a con save from all 4 of them.
Nice.
Oh my god. 2 nat 1s and 2 nat 3s.
They take a full 15 thunder damage each
Shattered.
Hell yes.
Each one of them goes flying over the trench and onto the other side.
Onward just set off a grenade.
Yeah. It's like from an actual war
They
movie.
didn't even have legs. They were already hurt, so they got the nat 1s. They're just, nope.
Just
They go
torsos flopped
flying,
over.
and the other 2 guys didn't do too well either.
Their feet get left behind.
Oh,
All these people leaving limbs behind in this
I guess
battle.
mechanically, we'll say that these 2 guys are still standing, but these 2 guys go flying off dead. Oh, I guess these guys they're all dead too. They're just body parts flying all over the place, just scattering around. Some of it's hitting Audra and Hunter, and other parts are hitting the other archers. But they are very dead.
Oh, I've got some archer in my hair.
So Anwar's like, so you do work. So is it just a launcher? And then he's gonna keep walking up, like, wondering why his thing isn't working correctly.
Okay, Hunter.
So
You still got 3 on your left.
right, and I'm looking at them. I've got my beer out, and I hear a thoof, and I feel a hand like tap my shoulder, and I'm like, not right now, and I swat it off, and it's just the hand goes like rolling in the dirt. And Hunter's going to kind of like jump up and try and skewer this guy here.
All right. Do you try to skewer him through his brain or something else?
I mean, really, whatever I can reach. If I have to hit his brain through his chest cavity, I'll do that. You know,
I guess if you really jumped up and landed, I guess you could do that. Or at least up through his chin, maybe, and then his chin up through his head.
I mean, kind of what I'd like to do is like, kind of push myself up and stab, and then like, as I'm dropping down, kind of grab him and drag him down with me. But I know that can be complex.
I'll give it to you if you hit. So let's see roll. That's a hit. Yeah, you do that. You kind of use your hand to prop yourself up, stab, and bring down.
Yeah, that's 26 total damage.
Yeah, he's very dead, and you got him right in the brain, so he's not moving.
Cool. When I bring him down, I'm using him as cover. And I'm going to disengage, I guess. And
Yeah, I finally started. I have someone. Apparently, I also have Anwar for vision.
Just like a whole other brigade of like pikemen with other like hobgoblin pikemen over there with like spears ready to go. Most of them pointing up towards Aranis's head at this point. But yeah, that's what you see when you head over there, around that corner. Alrighty, so either Audra or Chimera next.
Sid, if you would like to go again.
Sure. We're gonna go ahead and bonus action Hunter's Mark this guy here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go ahead and throw my shield at them.
Nice.
And because I'm next to Audra, I get actual pack tactics.
Nice.
What does it do for you?
Oh, I get advantage.
Oh, nice.
Because she's got her wolf spirit thing.
I couldn't remember what the number was associated with it.
And on the
Advantage.
left.
That's a hit.
Nice. And then the one, or I guess that was the one on the bottom, or on the top.
That is also a hit. And if you'd like, because of the upgrade you got, the third hit could hit the original first person.
Sure. Oops.
that hits.
Okay.
I've been holding on to this sound for that.
All 3 of those hit, and the first guy is Hunter's Mark. So
Oh shit, that's right. So that is, hold on real quick. That's gonna be 2d6, right? Yeah.
I mean,
okay,
strategically, if you're trying to get both of them, you might want to Hunter's Mark the one you're only hitting once to see if you could kill both of them in one hit. It's up to you.
I'll take that if you let me take that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the one on the bottom. And then the one on the top that only got the one hit. Nice.
Alrighty. The one you Hunter's Mark, you like zone in right at the head that you're trying to hit. The other one, you like throw it, like knocks it right at the hip, and then comes up, hits the other guy like right in the head, blunt force trauma, knocks him out, goes over to the first guy and bashes him, and doesn't like get quite in the head in the same way because he didn't have that Hunter's Mark. So even though you hit him twice, you technically did a bit less damage. He still is totally crippled and falls down to the ground, but he's still kind of crawling a little bit. Whereas this other guy, he is totally dead. And this guy is 99% dead.
Okay.
This guy is totally dead. I just kept him there, so I'll do that. So
That's Hunter's skewer cover.
this red X just means 99% dead,
Yeah.
but not
I
fully
was gonna
dead.
say totally dead is gonna be my alt pop punk band.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that is your action, and then you did your bonus action to Hunter's Mark. Is there anything else you want to do?
We are moving forward. Because I hear people are panicking up here.
Yep.
Mostly Benny.
That was 30. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move forward. Oh, hey, Arantis, you scared me.
Sorry.
And I guess she'll post up there.
Okay. Audra, what do you want to do? There's definitely a big crowd heading there, but all of the people who were shooting at you are all gone.
Right. So since Arantis is big, I can be here, right?
Yeah, you could
Right,
run up.
yeah,
And,
that's how
well,
that
I don't
works.
think you can stay in his square. You can move through his square, but there's no
Okay.
real room for you to go.
Well, this.
You're tall enough that you can kind of see over the trench a bit, and you definitely see a group of heads sticking out. So if you wanted to like prop yourself up above the trench like they did, like those
Okay.
archers did, you could do that.
'Cause what I'm trying to do is get.
Stay in a square.
Okay. What I'm trying to do is get close, like as close as I can, to hit as many as I can with
If you
what
give
I'm
me an
trying
athletics
to do.
check, I'd allow you to prop yourself up above the trench. It's only a 5-foot thing, and you're like 7.
Get about here, maybe.
Yeah, totally. Just
Okay.
give me an athletics.
Yeah, I'll do that. Because I can't do too much if I'm, in the back. Okay, here's athletics. 14.
Yeah, that's enough. You're tall enough that it maybe costs you an extra 5 feet of movement, but it doesn't matter because you didn't move. So
Okay.
yeah, you hop up, you get up there, and then you can look over and see just a whole group of them. What do you want to do?
I look down and I think, well, we need an army of our own, don't we? And I'm gonna summon forth my angels.
All right.
And it looks like, I don't know, I see 6. I don't know how many of these guys there are total, but all 6 of these guys, since I think it's about to be their turn, are all going to need to make wisdom saves.
All right. Yeah. Do they do it at the start or end of their turn?
Start of their turn. I believe it's start or first time you enter.
Okay.
Yeah, enters or starts their turn there, so yes.
Okay. Damn, I wish I just had one more D12. All right. Wisdom save, you say?
Mm-hmm.
What's the save?
My DC is a 14.
Okay. Amazingly, only one failed.
Okay. So then it's half damage to the ones you save, full damage to that one.
All right, let's roll that.
Oh, that's not great. 11 damage. It's all radiant, if it makes any difference.
Okay, yeah, the guy right in front of you, like basically the same thing, only except I just imagine they're on the perimeter around the outside, just like stabbing down with their own pikes, like just these radiant pikes, and they're getting stabbed at a bit. However, this guy is the only one to go down.
Okay.
Yeah, still there. But anyways, that's just the start of their turn.
Yeah. Let me just check something. I don't think I have any bonus action that would be appropriate here. I just want to double check. Let me check one thing. I think my hidden step is an action, not a bonus action. But I want to check. Since I'm exposed. It is a bonus action. Okay. So just because I'm now on top of the trench and exposed, I will go invisible with my hidden step.
All right, you go invisible. These guys are suddenly getting swarmed by an army as well. It's weird. Like, they should want to attack these things, but there's nothing, like, there's no stat to attack them with. They're just there, right?
Right. Yeah, they're not, like, targets of any kind.
That's a weird loophole.
It's just
the same thing with spiritual weapons.
Yeah, it's just an AoE kind of thing, but it is a con spell. So like that's the trade-off, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's like yeah, I can lose them.
Yeah, because I mean they'd probably suddenly want to start poking their pikes up at the things that are fighting them, and I guess after seeing no use, they will back up. So you have them on the run with that. That was their turn. They attacked and moved.
So at
Arontis-
least one of them, Arontis is going to use his reaction because he is a sentinel.
Yep.
If he tags them, they cannot move. They cannot run away.
Yep.
So
you
he's
want
going to
take
make.
an opportunity there.
Yeah, he's just going to bring his big fist down and smash one of them.
Okay.
And I think this is something like that.
Yep. That hits, and with the damage they already took from the angels, that is enough to bring another one of these guys down. Dead. So 2 of these guys that were there are dead, and I think you could count at least 4 others started running away. Unless some of you guys want to start going chasing them, I'm just gonna say we're out of combat at this point because they're probably just gonna keep on running down that trench as much as they can. Because like those guardian angels, they're like weak. they tried stabbing at them, but they were like just these spectral angelic beings, and they're like, nope, we're out. We can't fight that, and they ran the fuck away. So yeah, you make it around this trench, and is there anybody who hasn't rolled a D100? Not that
Me.
Artem,
I haven't.
Alrighty.
the closer.
Ah, wish me luck, everyone.
You can do it.
No, I can't.
Hey, it was better than
can.
mine.
While you're in this trench, at least at first, things are a little quiet for you. Is there anything you guys want to do as far as healing up or anything like that, or you guys just keep on moving forward?
I'd like to take a short rest.
You can try to do that if you want.
I just want to say, Richard, just so that you're aware, because we're in a trench, he's not going to drop it yet, and the angels do last 10 minutes.
Okay.
Nice.
How's everyone doing on health? I'm just looking.
I will say that
We
if
all look
you're in the
pretty
trench,
good.
I'll lay down in the trench with you because they could potentially. I guess they're not casting light or anything, so my only concern would be that through the fog, light still might be able to bring people's attention.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, and if they're running away, she would just drop it. That's fine. I can always just do it again.
It's up to you guys.
No,
I think at this point we'd be looking for somewhere to like scurry away so we're not ambushed again.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't need to bring more visible things with us.
Okay. So you guys are heading along the trenches and just look at a little nook or something like that?
Whether that is us staying in the trenches or if we need to
Or
like
moving on or whatever, yeah, what do you guys want to do?
What's the direction we need to keep moving? Is it north on this map?
Yeah,
do you want to
I
check north?
Can we like get a
Probably
bearing?
east,
Yeah,
right?
sorry.
Yeah, if you want to check your compass, you could do that.
Unwar uses needle compass.
Because like, you know, trenches are dug from base to base ostensibly, right? So like, if we follow this, does this take us more toward our destination, you know?
I get the feeling that this might be more of a moat around the perimeter. Type.
I was thinking that too.
Like a perimeter, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we might
So I
actually
think
have
if
to.
anything, we need to
just
climb
go-
out
just go
and then
up.
keep going in.
Okay.
Yeah, this way, essentially, like east over the mound.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
So basically what you have figured out is exactly what your compass is saying, and also it's still like you hear more chaos in the direction of where you need to go, unfortunately. But I will say, with that 29, you start to hear a rumbling and start feeling a rumble through the ground in the trench that is consistent, almost like tremors from an earthquake. And it is going on for a solid minute or so. What do you do in feeling that?
Richard, when you say we're feeling it in the trench, do you mean physically the people standing in the trench, or
Like,
just
the
generally
ground
on this
itself
screen?
is shaking. You're feeling it. You're hearing this low rumble sound, and it is going on for like a solid minute.
Guys, I
straight.
think the wormhole is a literal hole with a worm in it.
Oh.
Penny did remember wormhole.
And I do think we need to scoot.
Everybody out! Let's do this thing.
Just
Let's pop out.
Do you
head
wanna-
up the hill.
Do you
Yeah.
wanna, like, just head in the direction you're going, or do you try to determine the direction of the tremoring? What are you guys doing?
I feel like
We keep heading in.
It might be good if, like, just to double check and make sure that heading up the hill isn't closer to the tremor at the very least. But,
That's
like,
true.
either that direction or, like, slightly off of that direction.
If anybody wants to make a perception or investigation to see if you can try to determine where the tremor's coming from, you can do that.
I'll do an investigation.
and I'll
You got a
do the
seismograph in there, right, Anwar?
That's not a
Sure.
bad call there.
21, yeah. With your sensor things inside your helmet and stuff, you can determine that the tremors, it's coming from the direction you need to go in, unfortunately.
We're running right up to Unagi the eel's hole again.
So do you guys just venture forward and hop over and just make a run for it? Like, what's the plan?
Think so? Are y'all up for that?
Benny, can we make it if we just run for it?
Maybe. I'm very good at running.
Maybe's better
You
than
want to roll
no.
one last intelligence to see if there's anything that comes into your mind?
Oh, you bet I want to.
Oh, I forgot. I am not good at running.
Yes. Yes.
That is the best you've rolled so far.
I love it so much.
You
Very good.
have the vaguest memory of being where a lot of action was. Like tons of chaos fighting, multiple like Battle of the Five Armies kind of stuff. And you vaguely recall off in the distance you could actually see a castle on a hill like after the fog. And then you remember getting hit over the head with something and then it went black and you must have just passed out and woken up somewhere.
The castle is near the fighting, yes.
All right, Richard, I want your ruling on something.
Okay.
Did you ever watch Dune?
Mm-hmm.
So Anwar can make a magical tinkering, a little gizmo, basically,
Huh?
that can do light or smell or sound. So what I think he'd like to do is when tapped by a creature, it repeats a recorded message. But if he were to make like a sound, like a pulse, and then stab that into the ground where they are,
I see where you're going
Could he-
with this.
could he make the thumper from Dune to try
Nice.
and, distract or confuse the worm?
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh yeah!
Nice.
Love it.
Oh! That was so close to being a 9, and then that natural 19. That's beautiful.
We take those. We
You-
take those.
You make exactly that. If you have a feeling that there is something lurking underground, you make the exact kind of sonic pulse thing. In fact, it's like a variation of your sonic toothbrush. And
Yeah,
it-
exactly.
and,
Do you take apart one of the many toothbrushes you have to make it?
You like just take the
Like,
brush
as
thing
he's,
off
like-
and turn it like a little. Yeah, you just stick it into the ground, and it makes exactly what you're doing. Question is, where do you want to put it?
In your butt.
I think in wherever there's like a fertile part of the ground that's kind of like not so quite so tough,
Uh huh.
and
Well, there's a lot more of that in the trench if you want to poke it on the side near the trench somewhere.
actually he's going to wherever that like most soft part of the ground is. He's
Like
just
where
going
you
to
battered it.
yeah, exactly. He's going to stab it right there where it's already been pulverized slightly.
Nice. Yeah, so you kind of like hop out of the trench, go over to this area where you had already shattered, put it in there, and what do you guys do now? Because you.
It's like, All right. So you know those toothbrushes? Anyways, I modified those. I turned it into a worm tracking beacon. It
Tell
should
us
be, my
later.
calculations are correct. Coming here right now. We should go.
What is a toothbrush?
What is the plan? Are you trying to divert and run in a different direction? Or are you trying to like have it go through and then try to use a hole in it? Like, are you using the wormhole thing at all? Or are you just going for it and having it go in a
No,
different...
I think where the idea is like put it there so that it feels and hears the vibrations, like something is happening there.
Okay.
And then we run in a different direction away from it.
Alrighty. So you everybody's in agreement on?
Yeah.
All right.
We will run.
So you do that, and you feel the rumbling starting to head your way. So you book it out in a different direction. Are you heading like straight towards where the compass says the castle would be?
I mean, would that take us directly in the same path?
I mean, you could go around and then.
Yeah,
over.
I would say let's kind of go at like a 45
We're
degree.
trying to juke the worm, basically.
Basically.
Okay.
That's such the phrase. Never thought it. You would
I'm
say.
just gonna
That's the
do a
episode name,
Google
Juke the
search real
Worm.
quick.
Juke the worm.
Alrighty. So you do that. You run around and you head straight forward. After kind of dodging over to either the left or right a little bit, and then start heading in towards the battle. And as you guys run a bit, you see even like cutting through the fog way past you. You could just turn around. You just see like a huge like boom, like a giant purple worm shoots up from out of the ground and then back down into the thing, and just it feels like an entire earthquake has happened behind you as you guys are kind of running away from that, but running towards. Eventually the fog kind of starts to clear out a little bit. You get a bit of a pocket. As you get closer, you can look up ahead and see the castle, but between you and the castle is this giant set of armies. You see all sorts of races. You see elves, you see humans, you see orcs, you see dwarves, you see all sorts of armies clashing in this giant battle royale that's out in front of you, and it is like hundreds of feet deep in there. It is thousands of, like, as you can start to look around, like, you probably only see hundreds in your more immediate vicinity because there's still some fog, but you get the sense that it is such a thick amount of clashing and everything else. So you can, well, what do you want to do when you see just a huge amount of clashing? And also I would say, like, you see like fire bolts shooting out every which way, like various cantrips like fire bolts, eldritch blast shooting out. There's just like random colored bolts going through the air, all sorts of places. There's arrows that are flying through. A couple there's like a volley of arrows that shoot like towards your ways, and you guys gotta like duck down real quick and then get back up. What do you do?
I want to load my old save and tell Benny too bad and walk away.
Benny told you that there was a wormhole. He was correct.
Oh boy.
Did we
I mean-
use the distress beacon to cause a distraction? The Empire wand that makes a giant red arc in the
Hmm.
Oh, our flare gun?
Yeah, basically. Like something
Yeah.
that would make everyone look one direction. Because they've never seen anything like that before, presumably. And we're running the other direction. Like, Hunter's pretty quick. Maybe if we gave it to him, he could run a decent distance and then fire it and then run
And
back.
then also, Chimera has 2
I was
bombs.
about to say, yep.
I
Sid
would
does
say
have
that
2
there
bombs.
are various things shooting off in all directions all the time, that if there was one more like big maybe people would look in the air for a second, but there's so much chaos going on, it wouldn't add much to the chaos.
Okay.
What if we shot it off like low across, like just overheads, so hopefully people dove out of the way, giving us like parting the Red Seas for a moment to
I
like.
was about to say, I
through.
think you're more on the right track of, I think
Yeah.
what it sounds like you'd be trying to do is kind of part the Red Sea almost.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, get everybody to go, what was that? You know?
Chimera says, I've got 2 bombs. That's true.
We only
It
get
is
one.
true.
So it's up to you guys how you want to try it. There's
Ooh.
literally armies upon armies clashing. If you get
Ooh.
much closer, they're going to start coming at you.
Ooh. Hold on. Sorry, I have a thing, maybe. In
And
conjunction...
definitely, I would say, like, not only is there that, there's also various mounts that being written. You see rhinos crashing through people. You see there's like a freaking like there's a lizard folk guy riding a T-Rex going through. Like shit is nuts. Like
Jeez.
whatever you could imagine, crank it up one more level. That's how chaotic it is right now.
Okay.
It's like
Let's climb into the hole the worm made when it came rushing through, and we'll travel that under the army and come back up on the other side, because you said it was coming from the direction we needed to go underground, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So we got us a tunnel. What do y'all think?
I would like to... I do not want to get in a worm's tunnel, personally. But in conjunction with your shoot the firework along the ground idea.
Like just over their heads.
Yeah. If we do that, I don't know how big of a battlefield this is, and I don't know necessarily how powerful all these things that are fighting are, but like the pikemen weren't super strong. I don't know if you have it too, Artem, but like part of being a cleric, I have turn undead. Like that'll give us like you don't
It's
have
a
it.
strictly cleric thing.
Okay, so I have turn undead. I could use it twice as we're crossing, which basically gives us 2 30-foot spheres of whoever fails being forced to spread the Red Sea for us. Like if we're trying to just cut through, that could also help. It maybe in combination with some other things from people.
Okay.
Minor thing with that. If we think these things are undead, do we also think that the guy currently with us
Oh, Benny also has to run?
is also undead?
That's a good point.
I mean, he is a paladin, so he's pretty robust. But it's
Can
like,
I designate each that can see
Kenny,
it? Okay.
roll an intelligence check to see if you're undead.
Oh,
So
God,
I can't.
all right.
Okay, so I can't like
You
designate
don't
it
have
to
do that if
not.
you don't want to.
Oh,
I
I
can't-
want to.
That's the best you've rolled. You stop to think, maybe.
Eh,
Okay.
There's much death here. I don't
So,
know.
but if we tell Benny it's coming, would that technically give him advantage on the save, and then Anwar could also spark him to make sure he is fine?
I don't know if
I
it
could
works.
definitely help him.
I
Yeah.
don't think there's anything that gives you advantage on turn undeads.
Okay. I mean,
Like,
it's
hey, I'm
well,
about
it
to-
is a, it's a
I'm about to
save.
waterboard you, so you'll know that's coming now.
Basically,
I mean,
yeah.
he
Like,
gets his own bonus to saves as a paladin.
I mean, okay. So that's just another. Like, if we just want to carve a path, that could potentially carve us a CR1 path.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might be stronger than that.
Well, that's
Well,
the
I
thing
mean-
is if there's a whole lot of things
There-
fighting.
I can't emphasize that there are tons. There are tons
Right.
of these guys.
Right. But if anything, like if there's like a group of like grunts.
Yeah,
then it
like all
has
those pikemen you guys fought off, you got the sense that you'd be able to turn those
Right.
guys.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like if there's potentially a zone like that, that could be like if this is the CR1 part of the battlefield. You know what I mean?
I hate to say it, but I think given the choice between legions of armies of undead and a worm, we might have
Might
to
wanna take
go
on the
with
worm?
A legion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the wormhole might
All
be
right.
the best way
If
to go.
if I'm outvoted, then we are jumping in a tunnel.
The
Secret
wormhole is the
tunnel.
way to the castle, as I have said.
Yeah, Benny did
that's
say
right.
that.
We just need to
You're
be
welcome
aware.
to try either way. I mean, as DM, I tip my hat towards one way, but if you guys really want to go the other way, we can try it.
I mean, there's a good chance that the turn undead will either not affect some, or some will still pass. We'll still get swarmed, and I'm afraid shooting it over the heads will just make everything look towards us. Whereas if it was somewhere else far away, they would look over there. So
The entire
let's
army
just-
goes, all right, we're all friends for this next 10 minutes. Get that
Yeah.
tiefling.
So I think underground right
All right.
now is our best bet.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. If that's what the group wants to do, then I go with the group. But Audra's definitely like, okay, but if this
And
worm
if
comes
push
back
comes
at
to
us,
shove, we throw a bomb inside the worm's mouth.
It's like a Dodongo from
yeah.
Zelda.
Yeah. All right. So you guys,
All
after
right.
seeing all that, you turn back and head in the direction of the huge crash that you heard from that worm coming up.
This is an awful choice to have to make.
You're welcome.
I'm imagining like the like the binary Fallout choice comes up, and it's like face
Hey,
the
at
army,
least-
jump into the hole with the worm. It's like,
At
oh
least
boy.
it already went in a direction, so if you're going
Yeah.
where it came from, unless it goes exactly the way back it did, but
Yeah, it's true. No, I mean, no, listen, as a player, fantastic scenario. But
As
I'm
a
just like, I don't
PC,
want to
like,
jump
goddamn,
into
what
the...
doing these terrible things.
Because I know they make their own tunnels, but like Audra's brain is like, this is a tunnel that it is moving through, and like, if it decides to come back that way, but
So if it came from the castle, that means that there should be a tunnel
going back.
headed towards the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
That-
let's do
that-
it.
Logic. Take
And
that
the
one.
reason. Yep.
And I think I would also say when we get in, we just
Fuck
full tilt,
it.
sprint. Just let's get through
Smoke
that thing.
show.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's actually a good place to finish for tonight. And then we'll pick up next time when you guys go into the tunnel and see what's down there.
Son of a bitch.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna hit the end screen, and that'll be an
Alrighty.
episode.
Bye, everybody.
Be back next week. Bye bye.
Welcome back.
Bye.
Yes, welcome back, Artem.